Military Broadcast Radio, the station that's giving veterans a voice.
Find us on the web at mbradio.us.
Think of all that time. Every wait in the winter. All that time. No one else saw. Every sprint in the summer. Think of every sacrifice. Early mornings on the levee. Late nights in the film room. Bus rides to playoff games. Every bump in the road. Every moment of ecstasy. Every moment of doubt. Years wondering. Is it all worth it? It's all led to this. Man, I got this. It's a 60-minute drive for a 60-minute game. After all the miles we've traveled, we're almost there. After all the hours we've worked, one more can make us legends. After all that time, this is our time. Caveman on the line. HG got the stats.
No filters, no suits, just facts on blast.
He seems like no nonsense guy. Like
re-emphasize that for the Saints fans out there on TikTok. Caveman. What did you just say?
The rebuild starts right now.
Marshawn
Lattimore's gone, so the defense, like, we're not getting any better.
To the left, got the edge and grind. We break it all
Get it into
down
Smith.
like
What a pass! That's game! Danielle Smith with the game winner! Oh my goodness!
And that is why you have Aaron Fry pass the ball in.
We roar from the base to the backfield floor. No filters, no fake control. We
So really, like you have you have the best quarterback in the league, the best wide receiver in the league, and you've got the best edge rusher in terms of total sacks in the season. You're 4-7, and your playoff chances are hanging on by it.
HG on deck, stats loaded and primed. Reading the field.
Let's make it interesting.
We're making it interesting. Come on. Give us the freaking one.
Breaking down ball like a heat wave blade.
Oh, let's go! Oh, no. Put him in there. He's not going in there.
We see through the hype. Call out the Warriors.
So don't you go saying that you're never going to see that. You're such a hater.
The station where our veterans' voices are heard, MBR Talk.
Hey, thanks for tuning in. Welcome, Quack.
Program are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of any entities they represent.
Find us on the web at mbradio.us.
For your
You are looking live at Till the Final Whistle, everybody. HG and Caveman back in the house for another episode. Week 18 for us here in the house. And man, we had an awesome weekend of football. 3 days in a row of some playoff football and high level. I mean, we saw some amazing sports. National champion was crowned Indiana wins the first national championship in school history. And I mean, Kurt Cignetti just got to continue to lay that mold down, and they're building a real program over there now. Football is back in Indiana. It's crazy. It's been since like the 50s. And then the divisional round of the NFL kicked it off. Broncos got the dub in overtime over the Bills. We'll get more into that. It got some huge implications in the AFC Championship moving forward towards the end of that game. Our well-known injury to the right ankle of Bo Nix. And they'll be facing off against the New England Patriots. Drake Maye, man, that daunting Texans defense. He had a tough day with all that pressure getting after him. Still made some amazing throws, made some really clutch plays in what seemed like a really defensive game. I mean, they made the plays they needed to offensively. They're moving on to the AFC Championship. And over on the other side, the Niners got dismantled. We're going to talk about that situation there and what's to come for the Rams. He took out the Iceman, thawed him out. He was very, very clutch until it mattered the most in overtime. And just really tough play there to end that game.
DJ Moore not without fault.
Yeah, definitely not without fault there. I mean, it's kind of been a case all season for Chicago that, you know, the plays where he's not getting the ball and he knows he's not getting the ball, there's like just a literal lack of effort. I mean, there's no chance that on any play besides a run play that DJ Moore could not get the ball, you know? Like, if it's a passing play with Caleb Williams on your team, with one of the masters in the scramble drill in this playoffs, as we've seen, they made two amazing plays against the Packers in the wild card round. So you go to think, like, what happened? It's like him and Colston Loveland, though, their connection in the broken play in the scramble drill, just how he keeps his eyes back to the quarterback and finds the open space. I mean, really hard to see that from a rookie tight end in the league now. I mean, it's rare. But let's get into it, man. We got the coaching carousel too. There's so much we got to cover today.
I think we got to start with the national championship in Indiana. That might be one of the greatest stories in all of sports. What's going on with that team and what Kirk Cignetti has done for this program. I mean, before he got there, Indiana was the most, like, had the most losses in college football history. They were the first team to ever reach 700 total losses over program history. They were easily the worst power conference football team. Nobody took them seriously. They were the laughing stock of the Big Ten. They were, for all intents and purposes, just a basketball school, and has really only previously won 3 bowl games in their entire 125-year history. And over the past 19 days, just under 3 weeks, they've won 3 bowl games, including a national championship. So
that's right, Joel. Before Cignetti, the Hoosiers were 3-9 last year, and 2 losses. This year, undefeated season, national champions.
And I mean, I was seeing on some posts from like Indiana alum that were like, I mean, they won 16 games this year. They were saying like over a 4-year period of going to school there, they didn't win 16 games total.
Yeah, they
were that bad. They hadn't won an outright Big Ten championship since World War II. And they had never been, in a position to play for the national championship. They only had 3 total bowl games to program history. And they still hadn't even been able to go into Penn State and beat Penn State there at Beaver Stadium. So just so many firsts here. Get your first Heisman winner with Mendoza, and They take down the Miami Hurricanes, a really good Miami Hurricanes team, 27-21.
That's crazy right there. They were talking about taking away football academic scholarships at Indiana University 5 years ago. Talked about changing the program. That's just insane.
But they found the right guy, and it's like I said. I mean, this is going to make an incredible movie one day. It is, because it was just such a destitute and hopeless feeling there. They just could never. I mean, it's over a century of just never being taken serious. I can think of another something else I heard from an Indiana fan saying that for a while they'd tell newer fans, like, we don't win often, but you'll learn to love it. And you would just see the stadiums just like half empty, barren, like people weren't showing up. And so for all the diehard Hoosier fans, Hoosier football fans, everyone in Bloomington, like, it's just couldn't happen to a more deserving fan base. And I think this is this is like things we can get with this new, transfer portal and NIL era. Is it finally gives teams that just have been historically stuck in the mud, if they can, they play their cards right, they can, will anybody do what Indiana did? I mean, that'll be tough. I mean, it's an insane turnaround what they did, but you can certainly start to turn your program's history around it and get them going on the right track. And who knows? I mean, maybe one day other teams will be able to do what Indiana did.
And when you get a legendary coaching hire like that, I mean, what's that school that the DA over there, the sports director, all those guys, whoever was able to get Kurt Signetti hired over there after going 3-9, he just went on a 1-loss season, or at James Madison, won the Sun Belt, got them into the FBS, and now they're in the Sun Belt Conference.
Yeah, that'll go down as one of the hires of the century right there. It was incredible. Yeah, and he was a little cocky in his introductory press conference. He said, "Google me, I win wherever I go." But he wasn't lying. I mean, his only 2 losses since taking over for the Hoosiers were against last year's 2 national championship title game teams. 1 loss to Ohio State, got that get back on them, and I'm sure. Well, we'll see. I don't. Notre Dame will have to run into Indiana in the postseason. I doubt they'd schedule Indiana in their regular season, but
yeah, that would be interesting, regular season game. I mean, we're all gonna have to hope for that for next season. I mean, once Notre Dame's schedule actually drops, I think everyone's gonna be looking at that like a hawk to see who they play. And you might already be able to tell if they're gonna have a chance to make the playoffs or not from the preseason.
Yeah. Well, let's talk a little bit about Miami and this game and this season. Obviously they had some, they dropped a couple of games to some lower conference teams against SMU and Louisville. People weren't sure, like they were supposed to win the ACC, and then they were at risk of missing it. But I think the committee made the right decision putting them in. Despite those two slip ups, they were clearly one of the best teams in the country. And I mean, they got to go on a bit of a Cinderella run. You had to go on the road to a windy College Station, which is one of the largest stadiums, that can give you one of the largest capacity crowds. Beat them, knock off the defending national champions. coming off a bye. Then you take down a red-hot Ole Miss team in the semifinals, but you ran into the perfect storm in the Indiana Hoosiers, and a team that just doesn't really make mistakes. But credit to them turning around this defense that was just putrid last year, and then them having one of the greatest defenses in the country this year. Yeah, Coach Kirk's
A little backstory on Signetti here.
There we go. Yeah, that's a lot to read. I'll let everyone leave that on the screen for everybody to read. But they're going to have some really talented guys going off in the draft. Obviously, Carson Beck, man, he's been complicated collegiate career because he's only ever lost, I think it was 6 games over his collegiate career. And in 4 of those 6, he threw an interception with a chance for his team to go win the game. That's how it ended for him. I mean, he's no more years of eligibility for him. He's been playing for 7 years now. He graduated 2 years ago.
Yeah, he hasn't done any school for the last 2 years, just been playing football and hanging out. I mean, this season, I think he actually did really have to face some adversity, though. Transferred schools, traveled from Georgia to Miami, only really because he got a girlfriend that transferred there, right? And then they got this messy breakup. She goes on a smear campaign for the guy, goes on a bunch of podcasts and basically blows up their whole relationship and kind of says he's a little bit of a D-bag. And the whole internet just starts clowning on him for the entire offseason. And you get into the actual year, and everybody's watching Carson Beck like a hawk. We're kind of figuring out if he's going to be ready for the NFL. He faced a lot of adversity this season. Going in as the 10 seed, who wanted Miami in this playoff? Everybody was like, man, there's plenty of other teams you could think of that could be in other than Miami at the 10 seed before this playoff started. And I think there wasn't really anyone better at this point. Obviously not.
I mean, I think you look at how bowl season went and how Miami did in the postseason. That was clearly the right decision. Like of the other teams that could have gotten in,
that was the right choice.
Over them. A lot of them sort of fell flat on their face in their bowl game or didn't look as impressive. So, like, Miami definitely gave us some of the best competition, like right there. Yeah, Beck, his final season, he's going to finish with 3,800 yards, 30 touchdowns, 12 INTs. Got his team to the national championship, just was never able to finally be the leader that got that trophy.
I think it's a couple.
Hoisted.
I think it's a couple national championships. He was in one at Georgia, right?
Yeah, I don't think he was starting though. That was because Stetson Bennett was the quarterback the last time the Bulldogs won the national championship. That was against TCU. I'm trying to remember where he was at before Georgia. I don't know if that's.
I think he'd always been at Georgia, honestly. Yeah, dude was in the same recruiting class as Bryce Young and C.J. Stroud. And C.J. Stroud only about to start his 4th year in the NFL next year. So it's about time we finally got to see, the end of Carson Beck's career on a real unfortunate ending. Really good read by that safety and corner right there.
Yeah.
I mean, they played the ball perfectly. And he thought he had one-on-one coverage. And corner knew he had safety help over top and just jumped the route. Picked it off to win the game. 45 seconds left. I thought they were going to go down and win it. They were kind of moving down the field until they got to the 50. And they got stonewalled on 1st and 10 and took a shot on 2nd down, leads to an interception. Pretty sure.
I see what Beck was going for too on that the play that got intercepted, but I mean it was there, but that had to be a really perfect throw, and he did not put nearly enough air. Like, you had to get like enough air on that ball, but then also get it to drop like perfectly
right in between those
before
defenders.
the safety could get there. So
it's a really tight window throw. Like
it was. And then that situation, like I get you do kind of have to be aggressive, but clearly he didn't have that in his bag with the arm talent. Just wasn't the right throw there. I see what he was going for.
Yeah.
But that had to be a perfect throw, and that's where the decision making. It's like in that situation,
he left just enough room for.
It's second down. Like you can probably get, a little closer before you take a shot like that. But I see what his vision was. I want to also talk about Mark Fletcher, Malachi Tony. These guys were some special talents.
With him returning
this year.
Is Tony going to be the best receiver in college football next year? There's still some room for a lot of other guys, but I think with the right.
It's probably going to be between him or Jeremiah Smith. Maybe Nick Marsh now that he's a
Hoosier.
He's a Hoosier, yeah. But was he a red shirt or a true freshman? I think he was a true freshman, right?
At Michigan State.
No, I'm talking about Tony. Sorry.
Oh, I'll have to check his player profile. I'm not sure if he redshirted.
Okay, but regardless, as a freshman this year, what an insane season. He logged 109 catches. He had 1,200 receiving yards and 10 touchdowns. That's not to mention he also, he had what he was able to do rushing the football. He had 113 yards on 23 carries and also ended up getting a touchdown. Plus, he was a really dangerous returner. I think he had a return touchdown as well this season. And I believe they get Mark Fletcher is coming back for the Canes as well. He's only a junior. So he's got one more year of eligibility. He's going to use that. So
there we go.
There's still some good transfer portal QBs that are out there. And there's obviously a big hole for Miami there at the quarterback position. What are they gonna do there?
That's gonna be really interesting.
Like I think Darian Mensah, that's a big name that still hasn't made a commit anywhere. I
didn't even know he hit the transfer portal.
Yeah, he's in the portal.
That's somebody they should look at, dude. He had a nasty season with Duke. Really came out of the blue. They won the ACC. That's definitely somebody they could look at.
Yeah, so Mensah's still available. Let me see who else they got.
Damon Williams from Washington.
Oh, Damon Williams. Yeah, he'll certainly be highly sought after as well.
I'm gonna just check their roster.
Walker Egan is apparently trying to transfer from San Jose State. They had a pretty productive season offensively. I don't know if he'd necessarily be a big target. Here's a bit of a sleeper pick: Parker Navarro from Ohio.
Okay. Looking at their current roster, they actually have a lot of quarterbacks here. Holy crap! So they got this dude, Judd Anderson, Joe Borkers, Vinny Gonzalez, Ripley Luna, Luke Nickel, and Emory Williams. And none of those guys are above a sophomore in class. No, they must be looking to dwindle down these numbers a little bit before they even come to a decision too. And that's a lot of guys. Judd Anderson, though, is freaking 6'6", 220, going to be a sophomore next year.
It's intriguing what's going to happen there. Obviously, I think the bigger thing is that Miami is going to have to do some replacing of their offense, their defensive talent on the other side of the board. We know Ruben Bain; he's going to probably be a top 10 draft pick.
Both of their edge rushers are first-round picks.
Yeah,
pretty
Mesidor's
much.
certainly going to go. What's the big nose tackle they got there in the middle? Ahmed Moten. He's only a junior. Potential that he comes back, but I think he might come back there. Trying to remember who in their secondary is a senior. Keontae Scott. He's going to be going. Fantastic corner there. I mean, they might want to move on from Ethan O'Connor. He was really getting targeted late in that one.
He was battling though.
He was.
He was going against the Heisman and getting one-on-one looks against their best receiver in the postseason, that Becker guy. I mean, that dude came out of nowhere for Indiana as well. Like, he wasn't even really the guy all the way through the season.
So good at throwing that back shoulder throw.
That's unguardable if it's in the right spot.
Yeah.
Like, if you're a DB and that you're playing against a quarterback that has a beautiful back shoulder pass, like, it's a bailout in literally any situation if you have a sideline route. If you put that ball in the right spot, it's unguardable. That's like that's like the sky hook of football right there.
And like him and his receivers, like Surratt all season and Becker in the postseason, they just had such chemistry on those throws. I mean, it was just the timing was so great on those. It's like, yeah, like O'Connor he had pretty solid coverage most of the time, but you just can't really beat a good back shoulder throw.
Even when there was just a huge third down conversion leading to that fourth down touchdown run that they had from Becker, where O'Connor was literally like falling on top of him, bending his neck and his like face mask into his shoulder pads and just like completely crushing his head and neck. And he still ended up with the catch. And it's like his ankles are turned, like that definitely had to hurt. So it didn't let go of the ball. Like, just sometimes you can't even, your best defense is just there's no chance.
Yeah. And
it was 4th and 5. They called QB draw. They were lucky enough to get the same look twice. From the post-game interview, they asked Curt Cignetti why they even went for that call, and he told them that they brought out the same coverage look, back-to-back plays right there after the timeout. So they ran the QB draw, dude, and breaking like 6 tackles, spin move, and diving 4 yards like Superman, getting hit in the back too.
That'll live in college football infamy forever. I mean, that'll forever be in like the highlight package of like the greatest national championship plays. That is one of the greatest plays the sport has seen. I mean, it was just like pure will and determination from a Heisman winning quarterback, and like such a huge moment of the game. It was such a huge risk to take that. I mean, when you were in field goal range, and
he had the first down. He got first and goal and didn't even go down.
Right. Like, that just was pure determination by Mendoza. And like, that was kind of like this guy deserved the Heisman. Like, when you look at it, like, I think like the Heisman, you really have like 2 options. You've got like the guy that's having like a historic dominant season, or you look at like the guy on the best team in the country that just, when the moment's the biggest and when they need him the most, like, he just delivers. And that's what Mendoza did for them all year. This is an exceptional football team that like gets it done at multiple levels. And like, Mendoza didn't do anything gaudy in this one. I mean, only had 186 passing yards, the rushing touchdown.
They're getting after him all day.
Yeah. He took some brutal shots, but you look at, I mean, 4th and 3rd down conversions, just him delivering some big time throws. He kept the football safe. That was crucial. And then the 4th down run to put his team up by 10 late in the 4th quarter when they needed him the most. Like, that was when he played his best.
Literally, my main takeaway from this game is that in the last few years, This genuinely felt like a national championship game. Like, it actually felt like every single player was putting their entire life and their whole entire like bloodline on the line for this game. Like, there was so much at stake for these players. It felt like it was just more. It was so much more than just a game for everybody out there. It was beautiful to watch. Like, Indiana, you're looking at like a complete team.
Mhm.
Those two running backs going crazy all day long, but still, the defensive line of Miami was able to go in and get some stops, keep this game close, and still have a chance to win it at the end. Like, it really felt like a battle. Like, despite all the big plays, big moments, there was still like times where they got stopped, times where the defense showed some will to fight, got a stop. It was really back and forth. Everybody had momentum. It was 17-7 in the third quarter after a blocked punt touchdown from Indiana, and Miami goes 14 plays down the field for a touchdown.
Right. Incredible answer.
Makes it a 3-point game, and like they're not even out of it. And that leads to a 4th and 5 touchdown run with just, if there's a will, there's a way. Like, if you saw the camera angle from the photographers that were on the sideline, like right underneath the goalpost, the only running lane he had available, there is this entire sea of white jerseys closing in on Mendoza. There's got that Caleb Williams, Michael Jordan logo for his overtime throws against the Packers. Now we got Mendoza stretched out, diving in the end zone on 4th and 5.
Superman lunge. Right. That's gonna go hard as a wallpaper here in a few months when the editors get their hands on those photographs.
This felt like a college football playoff game.
I mean, I'm trying to think about, this was certainly the best one we've seen probably this decade. I'm trying to I mean, like, it
was the game.
Yeah.
Too.
Like, I'm just like, of our national championships since 2020. I mean, 2020 was a COVID season. That was weird. Who was 2021? Was that Georgia? TCU? No, that was 22.
That was 22. 21.
Oh man, why am I blanking on that? Was it Georgia again? It was like a Georgia Bama or Georgia Clemson. Hold on, I'm gonna I'll look this up.
The 2021 national championship is a Mandela effect until the final whistle right now. None of us can remember who was even in the game.
Oh my God, it was Ohio State and Alabama, but that was all. It wasn't
Stroud.
But it wasn't a memorable one because the Tide won that game 52-24. You had
okay. No wonder we forgot.
Yeah, like that. So that wasn't good. Like 2020, who even was that too? I don't remember that one. I don't think it was very memorable either. Like, they had kind of fallen off after the LSU's dominant run. I guess technically that was LSU finishing off their 2019 campaign. Yeah. And then 2021 was the winner of basically the 2020 season. So yeah, I mean, like, that was a special team. So that was kind of a cool with the 2020 national champion, just like that historic run. But again, they destroyed Clemson. Alabama destroyed Ohio State. Then you had TCU took one of the worst beatdowns I've ever seen in the national championship game. Clemson and Washington Michigan and Washington had some intrigue going into it because it was the Pac-12's final year. But then, like, Michigan just dominated for so much of that game, and that ended up being a blowout. And then you finally had Ohio State. Notre Dame was a pretty solid game. But it was like Notre Dame just couldn't quite really close the gap. It felt like that whole game. So while it was a fun kind of back and forth game, like, it never really felt like that game could slip away from Ohio State. Not the way like this game felt like, like in the final moments, it really could go to anybody. Like this was really a return to some of the great national championships that we had kind of been lacking over the past 5 years. I think that's another great thing about expanding the playoff is a team like Miami would have slipped through the cracks.
We never would have known if it was a 4-team bracket.
Like, sometimes like a really great team, even in college sports, they can drop a game, and it's like they drop a game that they maybe shouldn't or whatever, but they won enough and they still fit the criteria to make it to a 12-team bracket. And I'm actually all for expanding it to 16 as well. I think we could.
That would be kind of cool.
Right. Because it's still like there are still some teams that are kind of getting left on the fringes that I'm like, I think would still deserve a shot, But like the 12 teams doing good because like a team like Miami would have slipped through the cracks. Or last year, like Ohio State wouldn't have fit the criteria to be in the top 4, but they ended up winning it all anyways. And like Notre Dame, like wouldn't have really fit the criteria either. But they were the other team to go. So it's just like we're getting more fantastic matchups. I mean, yeah, there have been some blowouts still, but I mean, the Ole Miss game against Georgia, that was incredible. The Ohio State Miami game and the Ole Miss Miami game were both incredible games. Indiana,
potentially, there's 16 teams. Maybe the Alamo Bowl turns into one of the playoff games. That one's kind of your biggest bowl game for the teams that aren't in the playoff every year. Usually your Alamo Bowl, those kind of games, your ones on New Year's Eve, kind of when the playoffs are. You'd have to think of 3 more bowl games with some good history. Usually there's some solid teams that play in those to add into the bracket every year, which just means more room for more of those fun bowls like the Xbox Bowl and the Pop-Tarts Bowl.
Right. They can
get added in for everybody else.
Yeah. I know. I wouldn't even be opposed to that. If there are more teams going into the playoff, create more bowl games. Like, I don't see any problem.
I mean, I need to see Colorado. I would love to see Deion Sanders coach a Pop-Tarts Bowl. Oh,
yeah, that would be great. Yeah, that one, as cool as the Pop-Tarts Bowl is, that can't be a playoff game. That's got to be its own separate.
Be a playoff game.
I think I like saving that for like 2 of the best non-playoff teams in the country, like that's because it's super, it's so fun, but also like it gives, like, you also get a great game out of it, like I think like you could probably add like maybe the Music City Bowl. That could be potentially another one. The Citrus Bowl, potentially, that's got some potential to be a good.
Oh yeah, true.
A good substitute.
Which
the Duke's Mayo Bowl. That's got to be a playoff game.
What was Arizona and SMU's bowl game?
That's that was the Liberty Bowl, I believe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was going to say that one, but I think that one's newer.
Oh no, that was the Holiday Bowl.
Oh, there.
I do think that's newer too, actually, because the Liberty Bowl has been around. That was between Cincinnati and Navy.
Maybe that one be a potential playoff bowl game.
Yeah.
Drop it in the comments. Outside the Cotton Bowl, Sugar Bowl, the Fiesta Bowl, and all those Orange Bowl, Rose Bowl. What's some other college bowl games that got good history behind them that could potentially be in the 16-team playoffs?
The Snoop Dogg Bowl.
Oh, heck yeah.
There we go.
Heck yeah.
I'm trying to.
Do we head over to the transfer portal a little bit?
Let's say, yeah, let's take a look at the transfer portal. I had some of the top signings open. Look ahead to next season. I mean, I guess one more just note to put on this college football season was I think this was a really fun one. It was just we saw we had one of the greatest stories in all of sports, and I'm really excited to just see what the Hoosiers do from here. Like, I don't think they're done by any means.
Oh no. I mean, you go and get Josh Hoover and Nick Marsh, one of the top receivers in your conference, with a strong arm quarterback. You get a speedster with them for the next season. I mean, it looks like they're just reloading.
Yeah. Let's pull up Indiana's transfer class, because I mean, Cignetti's kind of sticking to his guns too. Like, he doesn't like to go for those 5-star recruits, man. He likes to bring in those good 3 and 4-star recruits. So he's got, I mean, Marsh and Hoover are both 4-star transfers. But then, like, you look at like some of the guys he's getting for the interior of the offensive line. 6'5", 318 Joe Brunner from Wisconsin is bringing in Caveman, or I'm not Mohawk rather, would probably know good deal about this guy. But Toby Usawani, an edge from Kansas State, also bringing in Joshua Burnham from Notre Dame, another edge player there.
Okay.
Sneaky good ad at the running back position here with Turbo Richard from Boston College.
Oh yeah, I saw that. That's huge for them. I mean, that's already like your 3 biggest players right there in your offense. Turbo, Nick Marsh, and Josh Hoover.
Right. And I think at least one of their running backs might be eligible to return, Hemby or Black.
I think Hemby is the younger one.
Hemby's a senior, but I don't know if he's got the
senior.
Okay, they're both seniors, but again, like, it's not.
It doesn't show on ESPN if they were a red shirt,
right? Or like, I mean, like when they started, because I mean, you get those COVID years where you get the extra eligibility. So I don't know for sure where they're going to be at. But on the secondary, they got AJ Harris from Penn State. Very excited from that. He'll be a senior quarterback next year, but he was one of those bright spots from the Nittany Lions this year. And they brought in another edge player off of Kansas, Chitty. I don't know how to say that. I'm sorry, Chitty. Shaz Preston from Tulane. They sniped a freshman tight end from Miami, Brock Schott. Got a safety from Wisconsin. They're bringing in Jaquan Sanks from Cincinnati, another cornerback there. Got a defensive lineman coming in from Tulane. Bringing in a corner from the FCS champion Montana State Bobcats, that he's transferring to Indiana now. And then, even getting some special teamers. They got Iowa State's long snapper. They're getting Hawaii's punter. And they got Troy's kicker transferring here. Patty McAteer, Billy Gowers, and Drew Clausen. Special teamers. So, I mean, like, Cignetti really has an eye for talent, though. So, like, I'm looking at all these guys. And I'm like, he really, like, they're some 3 and 4 stars. I mean, obviously, there's some big names that everyone like recognizes that were highly sought after recruits: Richard, Marsh, Hoover, Harris. But yeah, then like some of these other guys, like, they'll probably be on the Big Ten All-American team, maybe the National All-American team.
It's really sad that only news in Colorado recruiting right now, transfer portal. So one of our best offensive linemen entered the portal.
Yeah, they've
the only guy that had allowed only 4 sacks and 3 pressures in his career at CU. One of the biggest recruits that we landed coming into this season, and now he's gone.
Colorado's actually had some solid ads though in the portal. They're attracting a lot of players out of the SEC and the Big Ten, actually. The big one, news. I think the wide receiver from Texas, DeAndre Moore, and Boo Carter from Tennessee. He was a fantastic player for them. So that's a pretty big one. Also getting a linebacker from Texas. Got a 3-star defensive lineman coming up from Tulane. We'll see Taj White, offensive tackle from Rutgers, can kind of fill in on that line. That'll be the big thing. Is they
Indiana player, Jaja Boyd.
Yep.
There we go.
Got Bo Hugley from Georgia as well, another tackle there. Javion Richardson from Mizzou. They got Cameron Perry from Maryland, Javon McFadden from Ohio State. Got a couple of players off of Utah.
Here's a 4-star.
Isaac Wilson, who looks like Zach Wilson's younger brother. Maybe he is, maybe he isn't.
4-star lineman on here from Texas committed. Leonu Lafau. Okay.
I mean, so they have a pretty big transfer portal class.
All right, yeah, our outgoing transfers. Jordan Seaton obviously hurts us. But, I mean, from there, it's really DJ McKinley sucks. Him going to Notre Dame. That's one of our best corners. But, I mean, other than those two guys, we really replaced a lot of what had left.
Yeah, Deion's good about getting people to come over in the transfer portal.
At least we got a good weapon. Our quarterbacks were too young to have a wide receiver core as unknown as it was.
What was that
year.
That kid's name? The 5-star quarterback recruit who played a little bit after Staub got benched. Why am I blanking on his name?
Because I always want to keep calling him by the wrong name. This is why I blank on his name. Because he's not Mayava. That's USC.
No, I'm talking about CU's quarterback. He's a freshman this year.
Yeah,
he played a little bit.
I always mix up those two guys' names.
Julian Lewis.
Julian Lewis.
Okay. I kept on to say Julian Sain, and I'm like, I know that's Ohio State's, but I'm pretty sure Julian's there.
Yeah, he's sticking around with us. Yeah. So, I mean,
gotta just get him some weapons. I think that'll be the big thing. He's got a lot of talent there.
Get him some weapons and get him some protection.
Yeah. The other big guy Colorado lost was Omar Miller.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I forgot where he transferred to, but that was a pretty.
I didn't see him on that list. I'm glad I scrolled past him.
Amarian Miller, he's going to Arizona State, so that's rough numbers. He was the number 17 transfer target in the portal. So
dang it, dude.
Yeah, look at some of the top names that have signed and where they're going. Sam Levitt to LSU. Probably the most.
We'll see how that goes.
I mean, Levitt's an incredibly talented quarterback. So I mean, like he's a great dual threat. So I think they build a good offensive line. Yeah.
Than Garrett Nussmeier.
I mean, and he looked I'll say he looked pretty impressive against Texas Tech, and they handed the Red Raiders their only loss of the season until Oregon got to them. So
he's got playoff experience against the SEC, playing against Texas. So I'm only saying that because of Lane Kiffin, not even really because of the players. It's like what's going to happen this season over there that abruptly ends their year. So I feel like if he's still coaching at Ole Miss, might have a better chance to be in the national championship game last night.
Potentially. But I don't know, man. I think that's just more a testament to the players and everything. Looking at, when we're talking about this, you look at old Lane's team. He's got a lot of 5-star, or he's got a 5-star in Sam Levitt, bunch of 4-star transfers coming in, including Sam Levitt's potential replacement in Hassan Longstreet from USC, getting an edge player, Jordan Ross from Tennessee, Jace J.C. Brown coming over from KSU. He's getting Devin Harper's following him from Ole Miss. They get Ty Benfield from Boise State, Eugene Wilson from Florida, Fahim Delane, another 4-star safety from OSU, D lineman from Clemson, and Stefan Green. Like a lot of these guys are 4-star recruits, but they're sophomores and freshmen. Not a lot of them with a ton of tape or on the field experience.
Let's see who Steve Sarkisian is picking up to help out with this boy, Archie Manning. And it looks like they had made the signing on Cam Coleman, the number one receiver.
That's the big one.
They got him.
They sniped that. They got
4-star
from Pitt,
Melvin Sayani, a lineman from Wake Forest there. Raleek Brown, ASU, 4-star running back.
And they got Holiday Smothers from NC State. Another big one there.
Bo Mascro.
Yeah. Rasheem Biles on the defensive side.
That Cam Coleman signing right now in transfer rankings in the SEC, ranking 3rd right now. There we go.
I'm liking some of the talent they're bringing in on defense. Justin Cryer from Florida State as well. That's a really good one.
Rasheem Biles. Ian Giffard from Arkansas. He had a really good year.
Mm-hmm. So I think, that Texas defense could still be very dangerous. I think if Arch Manning plays the way he played in the final 6 games of the season for the Longhorns, that they might go undefeated. That team looked defensively, they were super dominant. They were really disruptive, and they could force turnovers and takeaways and stuff like that. But then just when Arch was tuned in, dialed in, man, he was putting up throwing for 350 yards and rushing for another 85, 90, and going for 5 total touchdowns. So if that's the type of production he's putting up, Texas probably wins the SEC, and he's probably the Heisman.
I'm excited to see what happens next year with Texas, because that's gonna be interesting.
Any other teams' transfer portals you'd like us to look at while we're over here? I want to see how. I'm a bit of an Oregon fan. Let's see how the Ducks are looking.
I'm heading over to
Arizona.
Could have had a good chance at making some noise in the Big 12, but they lost some early games in their season.
This is a pretty underrated signing, Coy Perch from Minnesota.
I forgot he went over to Oregon.
Dylan Raiola, I wonder, is the transfer portal still open? Is Dante Moore going to hit the portal?
It's still open. I think he's staying, and
that's what I think as well.
It's his job.
Yeah.
Dylan Raiola is not going to be no starter just yet. I think it's honestly better off for Dylan Raiola that he's leaving Matt Rule in Nebraska.
Right.
I think that's just bringing his career down. I don't feel like he's getting a lot of the hate that's coming towards him is because of the team success. I think with a better squad around him, good coach, progressive, I think he could be a pretty solid guy.
The Mahomes imitation stuff is weird, but
that's
he's a really talented quarterback. You can see it. He's clearly got the talent, but I just don't think that's the right place for him. I think Dan Lanning, Oregon, it's going to be a good place to bring out the best of his offensive talents. Let's see, Iverson Hooks coming up from UAB. That might be a sneaky good signing. Aaron Scott got some time to play this year for Ohio State. We got Carl Williams from Baylor. Guys leaving Yale to come play at Oregon. 3-star tackle Michael Bennett. So not some crazy big names, but still some solid guys here, like the Raiola, Coy Perch, DeAndre Robinson from North Carolina. That's actually a pretty big one too, as well. And they stole an edge player from their rival Oregon State.
I think this might be a pretty underrated signing in the Big 12. Arizona got 4-star tight end Cole Rusk from Illinois. He had a really good year for Illinois.
Oh, yeah.
That's a pretty underrated signing there. It's the more weapons for Noah Fifita. I mean, that's a team that likes to run the ball, too. They come out in a lot of big personnel sets. So, looking like they're building a nice.
Got
nice
DJ
offense.
Jordan from USC as well. That's a nice little signing there. Couple of nice defensive players also, one from Oregon, one from USC. Malcolm Hartzag from Nebraska. I think these guys are some seniors that are probably looking to play out their final year of eligibility. Hartzog, Lee Mullet from UConn, Cooper Blomstrom from Georgetown. So like some guys that are just probably looking to put on a show on a bigger stage in their final year of eligibility. I kind of like that for
a lot of veteran guys coming in, getting that chance. I mean, that helps a young team, and you got guys that you want to develop too. So,
yeah, I mean, Big 12 always feels like it's wide open. Obviously, the Texas Techs, they got their oil money, which will be that's tough to top. But yeah, I mean, Arizona could certainly make some noise. I really don't think they're too far off from being a similar team to what they were last season.
Looks like so far biggest signing for Texas Tech though. Nice interior offensive lineman from Louisville, Jordan Church. It looks like they were able to flip a guy as well.
I think you're missing their
Virginia.
Their biggest signing is getting Brendan Sorbsby. I think he was the number 2 quarterback in the entire transfer portal.
Sam with it.
Yeah, so that'll be huge for them. I mean, he'll fill right in for Morton. I think honestly, is Cameron Dickey coming back? I think Dickey's only a junior. Might be wrong about that, but the way they ran the football this year, and like Sorbsby is definitely more of a threat with his legs. And that could just be an interesting wrinkle in their option offense. Right there, they got a 4-star wide receiver from Auburn, Malcolm Simmons, as well. Look at that. They got a solid recruiting class as well.
Not too many guys yet, though. And they're not spending all the oil money.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely looking to spend it on the right guys. And getting a good offensive lineman, one of the best quarterbacks available as your guys graduating, and you're molding something together there for the next season. So, definitely something for the fans to get behind there. No little chance for Brendan Sorsby to get outside of Cincinnati, get a nice fully built up team behind him.
Well, let's take a look at some of the top guys that they left. Still haven't signed. Right now, I think the biggest one you've got Princewell Umenuelium from Ole Miss. He hasn't decided on a team. That's currently the number 3, right? 3 ranked player in the entire transfer portal. Jordan Seaton, RIP for the Buffs. He still hasn't signed anywhere. The fantastic edge from Missouri, Damon Wilson's still out there. You've got Caden Lee, the fantastic wideout from Ole Miss, is still there. Mentioned Darian Mensah. He hasn't signed anywhere. So those are kind of some of the top guys that are still not available. And then you pretty big drop off after that. Like a lot of the top talent's gotten swooped up there, but some intriguing places. Like where do you think like a guy like Seaton's going to go, and or these edge players, like who could really benefit from getting these guys? And like Mensah, where's he going to sign?
I thought that would be the guy that maybe Lane Kiffin was going to go after the transfer portal. You know, he always kind of had the underrated guy, Chambliss, coming out of nowhere. Once his starter got injured, maybe he'd go for it again. But I mean, Mensah, I think, was probably in the top 3, other than Sorsby and Sam Levitt in there for the top quarterbacks.
You know, here's an interesting thought, because I don't know if this team's got a quarterback yet or what their situation is, but they just hired a pretty big splash name in the head coaching department. Virginia Tech, James Franklin. I know they got Grunkmeyer to transfer from Penn State, but he's still just a freshman, meant to be going into his junior year. That could be an interesting destination for him.
Could be a big move. Aiden Childs transferred from Michigan State, lost their number 1 receiving target. Maybe they want to rebuild, go after him. They need a quarterback. They want to try and compete.
I mean, I guess I don't know if Iowa State's necessarily replaced Rocco Becht. That could be a potential big spot for him. Same with Arizona State, though. I know Becht he followed Campbell to Penn State. Has Florida? I wonder if they filled in their quarterback need. Obviously, you've got John Summerall coming over there. DJ Lagway is out.
Going to Baylor. Yeah. I don't think they've gotten a quarterback here in the portal yet.
Again, it's another freshman that hasn't really played, Aaron Philo from Georgia Tech. And so, I mean, it's like, yeah, maybe you want to go with, you've got that guy, but I mean, like Mensah's a pretty, like you've seen the product on the field. Like you've seen what he can do. That's another guy that I think, yeah, you could use. I mean, this one's a little bit out there, but they had a lot of struggle at that spot. Michigan. I know they did bring in Braden Fowler Nicolosi. They've got what's his name? Underwood, their true freshman QB, who played all right there. But I mean, you've got to deal with Indiana. Ohio State's still going to be good. Washington's always scrappy. You've got USC in there. And I believe Mayava's coming back for another season, right? So I mean,
believe so.
You definitely need a quarterback that's capable of some big production. I don't know if Fowler Nicolosi or Underwood are that guy, but Mensah could be that guy for sure. That's probably the biggest, one of the most intriguing name out there. Like that's the biggest quarterback we've got available still in the transfer portal. So we'll see where he ends up going. And we'll just keep an eye on the portal as that comes to a close. When does it officially close? Is it at the end of January?
I think they got a little bit more time than that, honestly. But I think it might only actually be a 4-week period. So it opens up January 6th. I mean, even on that first day, there's 4,500 players in the portal. And then by like the first week, there's like 12,000 guys that were wanting to transfer.
Yeah.
So it might just be the 4 weeks. So I mean, they're getting picked up pretty fast.
It is chaos. Yeah, I'm just surprised some of those, like that's like we have 3 top 10 rated or ranked transfer targets, and then or actually 4, Mensa being at 10. You got Wilson at 6, Seaton at 5, and Princewell at 3. So that's still 4 top 10 guys that haven't signed yet, but I mean, I'm sure they have offers out the wazoo. So we'll see where they're going to probably sign really soon now, especially since the season's over and all the dust is going to begin to settle.
Like the transfer window is only open from the 2nd. And the first day where you can offer is the 6th, and then it runs to the 16th. Then again, I mean, you could still pretty much just decommit from your school and walk on somewhere else, commit somewhere else still. And there's still like the opportunity to change schools there, but it's only that 2nd to the 16th.
Okay.
Yeah, before that last day, like 12,000 people were getting ready to hit the transfer portal.
All right, well, one final thing we'll look at before we sign off here. Who are some of the top-rated transfer classes in the country? Well, right now, Texas Tech is ranked number 1. The Hoosiers, fresh off the national championship, are number 2. You got the Aggies, number 3. Louisville at number 4 rather. And Virginia Tech rounding out your top 5. LSU at 6. Houston at 7. Texas at 8. You've got Arkansas at 9. And Notre Dame rounding out your top 10. With the index score of 31. So those are your top-rated top 10 transfer classes so far. Well, that's going to put a nice little bow and wrap on the college football season. And we're on to the off season now. And looking forward to what all these teams do as they finish up their recruiting and their transferring. But don't go anywhere. When we come back, we still got the NFL postseason to talk about. Championship weekend is set. We had some fantastic divisional round games and a coaching carousel that continues to grow and change. So stay tuned. You're watching Till the Final Whistle, Football Frenzy here on Military Broadcast Radio.
Seen her out in LA playing with the band. In Carolina, dancing on the sand. She's a star that's slipping through my hands, like the ones that fell on Alabama. She's red, white, and blue. Red, white, and blue. She's my kind of girl, 'cause she's red, white, and blue. She'll get you high as the Colorado skies, and she shines like those New York City lights. As tough as Texas, and brother, she just might knock you to the ground if you start a fight. She's red, white, and blue. Red, white, and blue. She's my kind of girl, 'cause she's red, white, and blue. She'll wait there in the harbor, holding up her light. She'll bring a fallen soldier home underneath her stripes. She's red, white, and blue. Red, white, and blue. She's my kind of girl, 'cause she's red, white, and blue. She's red, white, and blue. Red, white, and blue. She's my kind of girl, 'cause she's red, white, and blue. She's red, white, and blue.
The station where our veterans' voices are heard. MBR Talk.
Hey, thanks for supporting our channel by watching and listening.
Find us on the web at mbradio.us.
All right, everyone, you are looking live at Till the Final Whistle, ready to get into that divisional round weekend of the NFL. I mean, this is where we saw real playoff action get kicked off. I mean, other than that beatdown that we saw in Seattle, we
It's the
can
massacre.
get over that one quickly. Niners fans only had one injury on offense. You put up 6 points. Despite all the injuries on defense, I think they had enough healthy guys that they might have been able to, put up some points more than going across state lines to kick 2 field goals.
The Seahawks literally scored more points than them on the opening kickoff.
Yep. Shout out to Rashid Shaheed. That
Saints
was
legend.
definitely the best moment of the weekend for me because I hope he's having fun over there. Watching him run down the sideline, getting flashbacks from that Giants game when Spencer Rattler hit him on the deep bomb up the seam for the touchdown. Reminds me of the speed. Like, if only we started Tyler Shuck sooner.
Yeah.
We might not have had to trade that guy away. But I hope he's having fun over there.
Credit to the Seahawks GM, whoever he is, too, because Shaheed was quietly like one of the better acquisitions at the trade deadline. Like, he hasn't done a ton from the receiving game, but you look at like that explosiveness that he's brought to their return game. I mean, that first that punt return that completely flipped the momentum of that Thursday night football game against the Rams, and then like starting off the divisional round with a bang and a house call.
And his quiet work in the receiving game was like big late game catches on like long third downs where he would be that option for Sam Darnold. I mean, he had some really big catches in the regular season after the trade deadline to secure some wins for Seattle. And they got that Thursday night football against the Rams. The game-winning drive. He had a huge catch on 3rd and 15, just finding the open spot in the zone or right at the sticks for a first down.
And he's been kind of a weapon in the run game too. They like to bring him around in those jet motions and like give him like those sweeps or even just use him as a distraction, because like you do have to honor his speed, and like if he's going to get the football, you can't just let him get to the edge because he'll torch you. So
I don't know who allowed it, man. Who allowed the number 1 seed in the NFC to just go out and trade for one of the fastest guys in the league? What the heck? What the heck are we doing? What are we doing?
Well, I'll say Sam Darnold, the Seahawks did. There were a lot of questions about how he was going to perform in the playoffs, and they did everything in their power to make him just a game manager. This guy goes 12 of 17 for 124 yards and 1 touchdown. Kenneth Walker.
To describe this game is like K9, Charbonnet, that ground game eaten.
And a lot of it was just Charbonnet because K9, not Charbonnet, K9. Charbonnet is actually unfortunately done with the season-ending leg injury. I believe it was an ACL tear that he sustained in this game, which is unfortunate. But Kenneth Walker probably had the best game of his career when you consider the stage and everything. His 19 carries for 116 yards and 3 scores really helped propel this team to a victory. Darnold tossing a touchdown as well. But again, I think this has really been the story all year. It's that Seahawks defense. It's certainly the best in the NFC, might be the best in the NFL. You know what? I'm going to just say it is the best in the NFL. I mean, the speed and aggression on which they attack teams and their ability to force turnovers. I mean, the 49ers coming into the final 2 games against the Seahawks, they have been scoring points at will on people. And we're averaging, I think they were averaging like close to 40 a game in that like stretch after Purdy finally got healthy.
That's the difference.
And their 2 games against Seattle, they've scored 9 points.
Statistically, the best defense is Houston. When it comes to actual putting the pads on and going to play on Sunday, the best defense is the Seattle Seahawks. Just because how they play. Like you were saying, they get after the football. Everybody that wants to tackle. Like, this game was just, it was ugly to watch. It was ugly to watch this massacre.
I mean, Purdy was running for his life. He wasn't great in this one, but I saw Next Gen Stats said that Brock Purdy ended up running a total of 413 yards in this game just from scrambling.
Half their snaps on offense, instantly the pocket breaks, and he would have to either step up and try to take off, throw it while getting sacked, or roll out instantly to the left or the right.
Yeah.
There was no protection.
It's kind of incredible that he only ended up getting sacked twice. And he only fumbled once, too. I mean, it was Tungus and Juszczyk that put the ball on the ground the other 2 times.
I really don't think it was all that bad of a game from him either.
It just wasn't a lot he could do.
What were they supposed to do? They didn't even get into the red zone one time. No red zone opportunities.
Right. And like even when their defense got stops, I mean, it just they could not get anything on this Seahawks defense. And that's where I was like putting it is like, this is the best defense in the league because they just from the gate were just all over this 49ers team. I mean, all of their points came in the second quarter as well.
And this guy's a rookie, but it's kind of could be safe to say that he's one of the best safeties in the league with Nick Emanwari out there. He can really do just about anything on the field. He can cover the best guy, man coverage. He can come out of the deep backfield and get into coverage and lock somebody up. Come down and make the hit on the guy in the flat. He can play in the box. He can come off the edge. He can be in the middle as a linebacker. Like this, he really does just about anything that they need him to do on the field.
Yeah, he's been a total X factor for him. I mean, you can line him up anywhere. He's big enough to cover your tight ends and fast enough to keep up with wide receivers. He's great run support. It's just there's nothing this guy can't really do, and he was able to recover another fumble in this one. And another guy who I think needs some love is Ernest Jones. This guy has been fantastic for Seattle all year. Ended up coming up with an interception in this one, had a pass deflection, 6 tackles as well. On the season, 5 interceptions for him. Got in on half a sack. He had 60 tackles. But honestly, he might be their best cornerback. And that's crazy to say because they have Devin Witherspoon on the other side. But they just got those are 2 fantastic cornerbacks right there. And then, Emanwari and Kobe Bryant, Julian Love. That's secondary. That really is the dark side. I mean, all of those guys are playing. They play super high level football. That's part of the reason Seattle's just been so dominant. And they're just taking all the can Darnold perform questions out of the equation, and getting it done with their defense and running the football. I mean, 175 yards on the ground. It'll be interesting to see.
He still threw a touchdown pass in the game.
Yeah, I said,
when you got a pocket passing quarterback like Sam Darnold, I mean, this is going to be that's going to be your bread and butter in the playoffs. All season long, the Seattle Seahawks are really manipulating defenses by coming out in 12 personnel, not too many receivers on the field, and passing. When they came out in those big sets like that, the defense obviously is going to try to match it and go into something more than likely would be nickel.
Right.
Would be a better run defense there.
I'll also say
they would go into that set and pass all season long. Now they're just going to line it up hat on hat and still beat you either way. Like, it doesn't. This is honestly probably what they wanted to. They've been wanting to do all year long.
I'll also say, I mean, there weren't like a lot of opportunities for Seattle to pick up lots of yardage because they had so many short fields. You take like all the takeaways, there's the interception and the 2 fumbles that they recovered. So that's 3 takeaways right there. But the Niners were also 0 for 4 on 4th down. So that's 6 times where you're working on a condensed field. So, and especially like with how well they were running the football. I mean, I think they were averaging like 5.3 yards a pop. So, you're basically you're getting halfway to a first down every time you run the football. There really weren't that many reasons to have Sam Darnold drop back. Even with this limited 49ers pass rush, I mean,
like they were dominating them with with just a power running scheme.
I think Seattle wants to run the football first too. Like they struggled with it, and that's why they threw a lot out of 12 personnel this year, and why they had some struggles running the football early in the season. But they've really got that going now. And I think this is exactly the type of game Seattle wants to play, where they're going to run the football and then they're just going to sick their defense on you. And good luck. But I'll say
they got the power run going right now. Then
the one man that didn't really work all too well against in Seattle was Matt Stafford, who went in there and threw for 457 yards and 4 touchdowns. And I mean, Seattle, there was a good comeback, but they also got lucky. I mean, they had some weird calls go their way. And I think they were the right calls. But I mean, those are some fluky things that happened that are probably not going to happen again in the NFC Championship game. So we did see Sam Darnold answer the call in that one, but I think he is going to have to do a little bit more in this one. He's certainly going to be facing a tougher pass rush in LA and a much better run defense. So they're going to have to. I don't foresee a blowout. I think the Rams are too good for that. So this was I think this was a 49ers team that really exceeded expectations. And, I saw them as like a fringe wild card team to like a first round exit with how many injuries and everything they were dealing with. So I think to even get in and go win a road playoff game in Philadelphia was pretty impressive in its own right.
Yeah.
And they exceeded expectations. So it's like
a good year despite everything that they faced.
It's tough that it ended this way, but 12 wins through all the injuries and you got the playoff win.
Yeah.
I think you can hang your hat on that. I mean, like, hopefully your team can stay healthier next year.
They'll definitely be dangerous. But yeah, this NFC Championship is not going to be close by any means because the Rams are also coming red hot off 2 road playoff wins against the Panthers and the Bears in some pretty tight games, but games that they played out perfectly where they got their offense that possession.
Right.
But they were able to make that play.
Yeah,
to win the game.
They're hanging around in these games and they find a way to win them late. And I think that's just a testament to, I mean, Sean McVay,
winning late
despite
on the road.
Being like, he's only like 42 or something, but he's one of the most experienced coaches in the NFL because he got hired so young. Stafford, veteran quarterback there. You've got some vet coaching staff guys like Don Shula, the defensive coordinator. Kyron Williams has been doing this for a while. Puka's going into year 3 and really hitting his peak. Devontae Adams, Colby Parkinson, Tyler Higbee, their offensive linemen like Dotson, Jonah Jackson, all these guys have been doing this. I mean, they got some vets on defense as well. Versus starting to really come into his own. So it's just it's a team it's got a lot of experience. They know the talent that they got there, and it really doesn't matter whether they're on the road or at home. Like, I don't think LA has a tremendous home field advantage. So it's like they're not.
It doesn't really matter where they play.
Yeah, they're just a team that's like we're gonna just have to go in there, whether it's on the road or at home, and get the job done.
Yep. I think hopefully, I feel like this NFC Championship game is going to have the same effect that the National Championship did, because both of these teams are going on really good runs. But like you were saying about the Rams' run defense and their secondary, same thing for Seattle. They're going to be facing up against just that. These are the 2 best teams in the NFC this year.
Yeah,
I think we got the perfect matchup. There's no BS this year in the playoffs. I feel like we're watching really good officiated football, and we're going to talk about the Broncos-Bills game because
we'll save that one
there's
for
plenty
last.
in that game.
I've got a lot to say about that.
And there's a lot that I'm probably good. I think we're probably on the same page about a lot of that, because I think this weekend was probably the best for this playoffs. Been really good officiating. We've seen good football play. Both teams playing at high level in every game, except for the Chargers and the Niners in this one.
Mm-hmm.
But that's.
Well, do you want to wrap up the NFC divisional round and then talk a little Bears Rams?
Let's go over to the Bears and the Rams game,
because this was another incredible game, and I'll start with Chicago. I know Caleb Williams had 3 INTs in this one. One was a pass he threw it a little high, and it was deflected on 4th down, got intercepted. So I mean, the ball was getting dropped either way, so it was going to be a turnover on downs regardless. So I feel like that one was kind of a wash. What was before Cam Krul? Who was that got him? That one, it was Kobe Durant. That one was kind of his fault. He didn't throw the back shoulder very good, and just Kobe was able to. A little bit. Yeah, he really let Kobe make a play on that ball, and then he got him. The Cam Krul interception in overtime. I feel like DJ Moore I put that more on him because that's certainly a more dangerous throw at that point in the game. But I saw Chase McDaniels was breaking down the film, or Chase Daniels rather. There was space there. Moore just had to run to it. And he just
had to go to the area.
He stopped and honestly, that ball probably would have fallen harmlessly incomplete if Cam Krul didn't, lay out and make a great play on it. And Moore didn't. That's the other thing is Moore didn't really sell his route. He broke it off way too high. If he broke that off a little quicker, I mean, that's probably a perfect pin drop pass to right where he needs to be. And you're in much better position. So I think DJ Moore, thanks for everything you did in Chicago. They've got Roma Dunze. They've got Luther Burden. Colson Loveland's there. Olamide Zaccheaus has been pretty good for him. They can probably, they could go for another receiver in the draft or whatever, but it's.
Yeah, I think so too.
I really think he cost them their season here. I don't know what he was doing on that play. And I
offensively as well, I think he's their most valuable asset to a crappy team.
For sure.
And that they could definitely make a trade happen.
Send him to Buffalo, reignite him with his buddy, Curtis Samuel.
That's true. Those guys are huge friends in Carolina. That's why he changed his number to 2, because he was 12. Yeah.
Then he was away from his Samuel, who wore number 10, so he went to number 2 because it's 12 minus 10.
I do remember that now.
So reignite him in Buffalo. The Bills need a number 1 wide receiver.
No, he did not really look like it in this one, though.
I'll say, really, I put one of those interceptions, I think, is entirely on Caleb. The one.
The second one.
The second one. The second one Kobe Durant got was really on him. I'll put I'll put 50-50 on Caleb and on the wide receiver. I think was it DJ Moore whose hands that went off of on 3rd down? I think that was Burden, actually.
That one was Burden,
yeah. Caleb did put it probably too high. But I mean, again, that was still a catchable ball. I know it's cold and everything, but you're an NFL wide receiver.
That's a catchable
it's
pass,
you could have come down with that. So, and then again,
or at least fought it to the ground where it could have been a turnover on downs.
But also, I think it ended up putting the Rams in worse field position after he intercepted it. So,
either way,
kind of a wash on that one. And then I think this is 20-80, 20% Caleb, because that's a bit risky and aggressive when you're already in field goal range. But again, it was there. The receiver just gave up on the
Make
route.
a
Like,
play
why
on
are
the
you
ball,
quit?
Yeah.
Like, what is this lazy half route
Quit on
crap?
the play halfway
Quit
through.
on the play. I mean, you don't really sell like you're going vertical. Like it's like a really like bad, like wide, like it's supposed to be like a post or not a post, an outbreaking, a deep out. And I mean, he runs it like it's like a curved post route almost. Like you gotta
in
plant your
breaker,
foot
he
and
didn't
cut.
break.
Yeah.
There was no part in that route where it was
Like
a
you can't
breaking route,
drag
'cause
at
he
the
didn't
top of
even-
that route.
Yeah, like he just kind of drifted off and really let Cam Curl make a play on the ball and really allow him to read Caleb Williams' eyes.
Right. So I think because of how Moore ran that route, that also keyed off Curl on where that ball was going. Because he basically got to the spot where Moore was supposed to be. That's like I can't fault Caleb for throwing with anticipation there. I see what he was trying to do. Like
It's just moments again where I think that he should probably be traded away, or they should try to make a move here. That's multiple moments throughout the season where your quarterback, who's been showing a lot of progression, and your star number one wide receiver are not on the same page. And even throughout the playoffs, they weren't able to get on the same page. Only for a few moments.
It's clear.
Yes, they were big moments in that
Yeah.
Packers wild card game, but like even bigger moments like this one, not on the same page, not running the route 100%. It's like, are they going to get the effort that they got in the wild card round for the entire season and try to make a run, or are they going to get? It's like a 50-50.
I think this is just kind of unforgivable. Where like you can be such a non-factor throughout the regular season. I mean, like think about like the game against San Francisco. The Bears scored 38 points. There was like over 1,000 yards of total offense. DJ Moore accounted for 8 of those yards. He had 1 catch for 8 yards in like the big shootout of the century. And like you can't even. And Roma Dunze and Olamide Zaccheaus were both hurt in that game. So it's like how you're missing 2 of your wide receiver weapons and like you're just a non-factor. Excuse me. Like it doesn't make sense. And then this, I mean, like giving up on the play in the postseason in overtime. In
a moment like this, to go to the NFC Championship game.
Like for me, like that's you're off, especially like you absolutely sold. I think you absolutely sold the game where Caleb Williams might have made the greatest throw of all time.
Yeah,
which is
that touchdown pass to Cole Kmet, game tying touchdown pass, beating the clock late in the fourth quarter, 4th down, running backwards with literally facing the opposite end zone. Like that is one of, if not one of the greatest touchdown passes of all time. Maybe not even a throw, just touchdown pass. Because like there was some luck involved, and like it was a crazy, just like how do you expect that to happen?
And I saw a
perfect ball,
an angle of it from the stands. Like Kmet was not open by any means. Like Caleb, he just launched that thing because he had pressure bearing down on him. And like the Rams, they sent 4 and they got 4 through. Like the offensive line failed horrendously in that moment. They lost every rep on the line, and Caleb had pressure so immediately.
That play was just 3 go balls, and then they had what's his name? Zaccheaus on a short little drag route across the middle.
Right.
I mean, he was clamped up. That was their only route to the sticks. The pressure was there immediately.
He had to throw that like on 1 foot, fading away, knowing you're going to take hit.
51 yards, and that was a 14-yard touchdown pass.
Yeah.
That's just nuts.
Well, he launched that thing from the 40-yard line. Like because the original line of scrimmage was the 14, and he had to run. He ran back 26 yards trying to avoid the pressure, and then just had to launch that thing.
That's like a video game play.
Right, that's something you do on Madden when you've got like a quarterback with just cheesy superstar abilities.
Yeah, like you gotta have the
That's like-
crazy X factor, the bailout X factor with 99
Like-
throw on the run and 99
You got like
deep accuracy.
you got a broken Josh Allen card in Madden. He's just like 99 throw power.
That's like
throw
the
on
one
the
card
run
that's a
and speed.
100 overall that
Yeah.
you finally got at quarterback. Like that, one of, if not the greatest touchdown pass of all time.
Hold your heads up, high, Bears fans, because this was, first of all, I mean, you've got your guy. Like Caleb Williams, without a shadow of a doubt, deserved to be the number 1 pick in the draft. The throws he's made, I mean, he's given us 2 of the most iconic throws in NFL history. First, that one against the Packers on 4th down, like the Air Jordan throw. I don't think either of his feet were actually on the ground when he threw that ball too. He had to jump past that. That was an incredible one. And then this throw, you've got your guy. You've got the talent for him. You got to just keep that. If you keep that offensive line together, you got the coaching staff, and really, if you can keep most of your secondary and your defense,
you got a coaching staff that the front office trusts as well to let freaking that new head coach, first year head coach, make their moves in the offseason. Let Ben Johnson just take the reins and pick up what they needed. And he's slowly been progressing Caleb Williams into what I think is going to be a pretty solid quarterback in the future, man.
Caleb's getting a lot of attention and deservedly so, but like the Bears defense was really good in this game. I mean, like fully healthy, I think for like the first time this whole season. Jaquan Brisker, Kyle Gordon were absolutely game wreckers off the edge there. And I think that'll be what Seattle's big edge is if they can attack LA with their safeties the way the Bears did.
That's another freaking guy that has been having himself a year. Jaquan Brisker, also a rookie this season. I think he was a 2nd-round pick.
No, Brisker's he was a 2nd-round pick, but he's been in the league a couple of years. But this is kind of his best.
This has been definitely
his best
year. But similar to Nick Emenwari, he can come off the edge. He can drop back into coverage. He can be a linebacker type. He can play in the box and the run. Like he's really good for this defense, man. One of the leaders.
I mean, there was that one possession where he essentially forced a 3-and-out. He got a sack.
Yeah.
Off the edge, forced a tackle at the line of scrimmage, and then broke up a pass.
All in one possession. Rams punted.
Mm-hmm. Now, we've been talking a lot about the Bears, and this was a really fun season for them. I'm really excited for Chicago and Chicago Bears fans. I've been rooting for Caleb Williams. I want to see him succeed. So this has been a nice run to watch.
He got a lot of unneeded hate.
Yeah.
Like what happened? He was pretty good in college, and then out of nowhere, everyone started hating him for what he was posting online.
Right, and I was like dumb stuff like, oh, he paints his nails, and we're like he was crying
random hate.
He's crying after a game, and it's like, all right, I mean, like he still balls out. Who cares what what aesthetics he has for his own body. Like that's his business. That's whatever he wants to do. And like, yeah, I'd also cry too if I scored 42 points and threw 5 touchdowns and my defense gave up 52 points.
Yeah.
Like, come on, bro. Like I think you got like people were like, they were like, oh, he can't lead men. But like you should watch him in the locker room or on the sidelines. Like his demeanor, I think he's earned the nickname Iceman because he does seem really cool, calm under pressure. He delivers in big moments. And
what did Chris Collinsworth keep saying? Calm eyes. That's what I want to call him.
Yeah,
that is Caleb Calm Eyes Williams. Because that's really how it felt. It seemed like everybody else on the Chicago Bears felt a little bit of pressure in this game, except for him.
You can tell like he wants the burden. He wants the way that he wants it on his shoulders. You know, he wants to be the guy to go and win the game for his team.
That's just how badly he wants to win too.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that spirit. It's like man, I want to win so bad. Just give me the freaking ball and I'll deliver it to somebody, or I'll run it in the end zone my damn self. Like he's been playing at a different level.
Yeah. So Chicago, they've got a great thing brewing there. But let's talk about the Rams because and what they did in this game. Stafford got sacked 4 times, and I mean it was a struggle. I mean, like, it was cold. We were seeing drops, some uncharacteristic things out of this team. I mean, I think like the weather was certainly affecting both teams, just making them kind of uncomfortable. But LA really got behind their offensive line late when they needed it. And honestly, I mean, Stafford threw a couple of passes that could have been touchdowns in overtime after they got the ball back after the 3 and out. So, like, Terrence Ferguson just dropped one, but their kicker came through and delivered. Yeah, Kyron Williams. I was surprised. Blake Corum, they didn't really use too much in this one, but Kyron really shouldered the load with the 87 yards and 2 touchdowns. And even though Stafford wasn't his most accurate day, still gave you 258 through the end. I think the big thing again was the Rams, the discipline and the ability to protect the football. They got lucky and they were able to recover their 2 fumbles that Stafford had from, getting blitzed.
How do you even stop that? Other than obviously your offensive lineman blocking Jaquan Brisker off the edge, but like that dude gets downhill and was perfect timing with the snap and the throw when Matthew Stafford's drop, who's one of the best in the game at getting to the peak in his drop and getting the ball out, to perfectly time it before he moves that arm on both of those fumbles was literally on him reaching and tipping down a pass like a split second before it was going to be thrown to a receiver.
The other one, I think it was either Sweat or Robinson. Like, it just honestly bad communication between the guard and the center, where they both kind of they thought the other guy was passing them up. I mean, what is Stafford supposed to do there when you've got immediate pressure through the A gap on the defensive tackle? He's lucky that ball just went straight down and bounced right back to him.
There was a lot of miscues. The Rams honestly got really lucky in this one.
Yeah.
Because there was another play. Matthew Stafford came out, literally called out the blitz to the defense and pointed out to Kyron, and he just completely ran past him. And he came off the edge free for the sack.
So I think there's some operational things that they certainly got to get cleaned up. Seattle's going to, I mean, like, if you give Seattle opportunities to turn you over, they're going to take it. So, but we've seen LA go toe to toe with the Seahawks team this year. They split the series. So, I mean, this one, it's about, we're getting the best out of 3 between these 2 this year. And the winner gets to go on to the Super Bowl and represent them. But
this is really the best 2 teams in the NFC are up against each other.
It is. And I think, like, Stafford, when he got that ball back in overtime, some vintage moments, that throw to Devontae Adams was clutch. And
he went down early in the game. I was disappointed. I was pretty sad to see him get hurt. It's like, this is what he's been waiting for a while now in his career since leaving the Packers. He's been hungry for some playoff success and some playoff moments. He came back and had some late. Was him and Stafford. It was really some vintage Devontae Adams.
It was. Blake Corum didn't do a ton rushing the ball, but that 3rd and 5, when they were kind of on the fringe of field goal range, and the Bears sent the house, Blake Corum made the clutch block, gave Stafford just enough time to get that ball to Puka Nacua, and then Puka, being so good after the catch, was able to run him in the field goal range. I mean, that was probably the game-winning block right there.
Oh yeah.
He doesn't get that. Who knows? Like that's a safety coming up the A gap. He probably at least deflects that ball. Maybe he gets to Stafford first, forces a fumble, and then what happens there? So, yeah,
people were blaming that play to get into field goal range on the Bears defense and saying that was probably the call from Dennis Allen that screwed them out of the game. But if the pressure gets there, that ball is coming out a little differently to Puka, and the defense probably has some time to get down to him and make the tackle before he gets there, or they got a better chance of making the tackle.
Like, I don't think it was a terrible call by Dennis Allen. I just think Stafford, you had to do a better job of disguising it or something, because Stafford diagnosed it, got his protection in the right spot, and knew he had his safety valve just running a quick button hook right where he could get the ball to him. So right over where that blitz was going to be. Like that's the connection that Puka and Stafford, like knowing like, we're throwing right at where that blitz is coming. There's going to be space there. Get the ball to Puka quickly. Let him make a play.
That's those veteran moments. But we talked about it before a few weeks ago on the show that the NFL right now is played pre-snap. I mean, that's the only reason that I feel a little bit nervous for your Broncos, because that's one of Bo Nix's best traits, I think, in my opinion, is being able to diagnose what the defense is doing in the postseason against the Bills. I mean, that game, he made a lot of reads, a lot of plays before the snap to get your offense going. I mean, that's what separates the quarterbacks in this league from being the veterans, the guys that aren't really they aren't ready yet.
Yeah.
That are progressing.
So that was that 3rd and 5 was just a perfect example of the game being played pre-snap, because they did try to delay the blitz a little bit, try to confuse Stafford, but in that big moment, the Rams protection unit knew how to pick it up. They gave Stafford just enough time to get that ball to the opening and get it there. It's going to be a heck of a duel in the NFC Championship. Now we're going to go over to the AFC Championship, and we're going to talk Texans Patriots first, I think.
Let's go to this game first here.
CJ Stroud, and especially in the first half, was one of the most atrocious quarterback performances I've ever seen. I'm really trying to think of a worse quarterback performance in the postseason. Nothing's coming to mind immediately. I'm sure there's something there, though. Gary Collins was pretty bad against the Ravens in the 2000 Super Bowl. But that was like an all-time great defense.
Yeah, that was it.
This Patriots defense is pretty solid. I'd say they're a top 15 unit in the league.
Really good pass rush. Really
I think the pass rush unit's one of their weaker spots. I think they're good against
all they were going crazy.
Yeah, I think this is just the units are just the Texans and Chargers just have pretty subpar offensive line units. Like they've got a top 3 corner in my opinion in Christian Gonzalez, Carlton Davis, a veteran, on the other side. Their linebackers play really well. I'm really big fan of Robert Spillane. And then Milton Williams is a fantastic run defender and a pretty solid pass rusher in his own right. But they were like going into the postseason, I think of all the playoff teams, they had the lowest pass rush success rate. And they were like 28th. But the Chargers and Texans have just made them look superhuman. But yeah, CJ Stroud, it's just awful decision making. His throws aren't accurate. They aren't where they're supposed to be. He a simple pitch and catch, like just a guy running an out route to the sideline. You throw the ball behind them and the defender comes back and makes the catch. Or you try to force it down the sideline. It's another play where it's like, you can that's open, but you got to make a great throw, and the throw is nowhere near good. And like that was his
Not
first
the play
pick.
call. That should be really. That's not really what you should be calling to get your quarterback warmed up in this kind of weather. It was just downpouring. It was like a rain, snow mix. I don't even know what the heck they were playing in.
I think
it was worse conditions than what they were playing in Chicago.
Yeah, certainly. Yeah, it was much weather conditions. I think Chicago was probably colder, but this was definitely.
I mean, this
slicker,
was crappy.
But yeah,
wet.
Can't it's even like get that heavy, sloshy.
Guys are slipping
snow.
Everywhere. Like positive run plays that should have gone for at least like 5 or 6 yards, cut like 2, 3, possibly nil gain because of people slipping at the line of scrimmage.
I mean, the Texans defense, they put up a pretty good performance, I'd say, in this one. I mean, they really only gave up 21 points because obviously Stroud had the pick 6 that he threw. And it's just like, what? Like, I get, like, okay, on that play, your protection failed you tremendously. Like, there's immediate pressure as you're trying to roll out. You really only have 2 options, which is to try to throw the ball at the feet of your wide receiver. I mean, you're outside the pocket. There's a receiver in the area. It won't be grounding. Or you just take the sack. But he was like, I like the secret third option where I just huck a meatball up into the air and hope somebody comes down with it. Yeah. And instead it gets picked off and returned for a touchdown. I got to say, dude, CJ Stroud has looked absolutely petrified this postseason. I mean, he was really good all season about just being accurate and protecting the football. But this postseason, I mean, he just looks like so scared out there on the field, so unsure of himself, so indecisive. I don't know if this is crazy to say, but the Texans might win this game with Davis Mills in there.
I think he would have been a little bit more calm. Honestly,
I think Stroud was at this point he was so consumed with the mistakes that he hit the point of no return at halftime, and he shouldn't have gone out in the second half.
Yeah. It was I think after that, going into the third quarter, he should have gotten one more possession. And if they didn't go down and get a touchdown in that opening possession, get him out of there.
Yeah.
And they did not even think about taking him out of the game. That was what was really the struggle to me. It was like they're not even trying to run the ball more still. Like they really just were letting him go for it. I mean, he had 4 interceptions and he still had 41 passing attempts. 22 carries on the ground.
He had 47 passing attempts. Like, it was
47 passing attempts.
Right. I mean, like, Woody Marks put up 17 rushing yards on 14 carries. Like, it just, they couldn't run the football at all. And like, they kept getting into these, second or third and long situations and having Stroud throw for it. Yeah. And he goes 20 of 47. It's a terrible completion percentage there.
Like, having that bad of a game too. Why are they even letting him have 47 passing attempts?
Right.
Like, that's just crazy.
Like, I get and it wasn't even like they were out of it really for like the defense kept him close, kept him in it.
Defense had this at a 1-possession game. CJ Stroud had turned the ball over nearly 4 times at this point. He had a fumble in this game too, right? Oh no,
that was Marks had the fumble. So that's 5 turnovers there. And then they also failed the 4th down conversion. So that's really 6 turnovers in total.
And I mean, that 4th down, it was probably a pass play, and it was probably an underthrown ball on a route to the sticks, and like 3rd and manageable. So I'm gonna say that CJ Stroud had like 4 first half turnovers before the last pick.
Yeah, it was just an all-time stinker.
Holy crap. Like they won against the Steelers, and he was trash talking everybody
And that's
in
like your
Pittsburgh in
defense.
that game. Like that was all the defense. Like
They scored 2 touchdowns. The defense had 2 defensive scores. Like that was all on them.
It was really foul for ESPN to post it, but it was like CJ Stroud a week ago pointing at fans in Pittsburgh like, you're mad, you mad. And then this week, just complete silence, shock. He had definitely seen ghosts. There was some ghosts in Foxborough on Sunday.
And
they got to CJ Stroud.
On the Patriots side of the ball, I mean, like Drake Maye has, now that he's seeing some tougher defenses, his ball security has been suspect. I mean, I think he's fumbled like 8 times this postseason, but he's only lost 4 of them. So that's pretty lucky in its own right. He had an interception in this game. And like the other teams just aren't doing anything with these takeaways that they get. Like I go back to that Chargers game. I mean, they had the ball, they got the football inside the 10-yard line and came away with 0 points. Like that's insanely lucky. But he also made some really nice throws to this one. Stephon Diggs was such a strong catch, man, to pull that in. And then he took a huge shot in the end zone, held on to it. And then Kayshon Boutte, that one-handed catch that he had there in the fourth quarter, that was the dagger
in the bucket.
Yeah,
too. Like
so he did still
play on it.
He did still step up and make some big throws and big plays and some really crucial moments for his team. Like I don't think he's played terribly in the postseason. I just think he's just been really bad about protecting the ball. But like overall,
there's some film on how you can beat him.
Yeah, I mean he's been pretty solid. But 8 fumbles, 4 of those lost.
And the interception?
And 2 interceptions, actually.
2 picks. So 6 total turnovers in the playoffs so far. I mean, you're going up against a pass rush this weekend. That is just as freaking good, if not better, than the Houston Texans in Denver.
I'll say, I mean, this is a really desperate situation for the Broncos, and I do still probably expect us to lose if I had to be objective about it, because I mean it's like Stidham's, he's a good backup and everything, but I mean this is just such a huge moment to be coming into. It's going to be really tough to win, but for the silver lining for Denver, maybe J.K. Dobbins is back. We're the best offensive line the Patriots have had to play this postseason, probably, and maybe all season aside from like Buffalo.
I know. We'll see if they're.
And like I mean, like the
Bills through that
ran all over them and put up 35 on them in Foxborough. So, and then like the Patriots are having turnover problems. So I mean, the big thing, like, the Broncos are just going to have to be able to run the football really well and not turn the ball over, and hope the defense can go out there. I mean, they forced 5 turnovers in the game against Buffalo. That's going to be their best hope. It's still a long shot. The good news is too, Stidham's not going to have to deal with crowd noise being the home game.
That is going to be very helpful.
So
I mean, home field advantage is a really big benefit for him.
Yeah. And so I think just Marvin Mims will be the X factor here too. What can, like, because Sutton's going to have Christian Gonzalez on him, and Sutton's kind of been struggling with some drop issues. I mean, he's normally so reliable, but like the past few weeks, like end of December and this game against Buffalo, just some uncharacteristic like drop passes, or it's like they're not easy by any means, but they're just ones he usually comes down with. So that's a little concerning. Hopefully Pat Bryant clears concussion protocol we can get Troy Franklin back because those guys are going to have to be some difference makers. Because again, like Sutton's going to have one of the best corners in football on him.
Yes, I mean, it was definitely in the Bills' game plan to eliminate him in this one. I mean, Sean Payton going out there dialing up plays, clearing out the entire left side of the end zone for Humphrey to win out on that post. I mean, that was nice. Everybody leaking out to that right corner of the end zone. He slipped through everybody. Great ball from Bo Nix for that touchdown. It was a shame that he didn't get that first one because that was an even better throw from Bo Nix. That was like right in between the DB's shoulder pad and his helmet, like right by the ear, the ear of the helmet. That was a beautiful
Could
throw.
not have dropped that ball in there more perfectly. That wasn't even like it was like there was a lot of zip or anything on it. Like that was just a pretty like routine pitch and catch, and he just dropped it. We know actually, Kim, I want to just pose this question before we go to the Bills Broncos game.
Okay.
If you're the Texans, how confident are you in CJ Stroud being your quarterback of the future? I mean, he keeps getting them to the divisional round.
That is
and
true.
Then they just
back-to-back years. But
shit out in the divisional round though. It's been 3 years now, I think.
Yeah. I think honestly, I mean, that's the same question that we kind of keep getting with Trevor Lawrence. And I think this team is going to they let him play for the rest of the game. I think they trust him enough to be there for the next season. And despite all the mistakes made and how many times he turned the ball over in the first round game, and that was a rough night for him there too. I mean, they held the hosting team to real low score, but that was when CJ Stroud was on the field when they were stopping Aaron Rodgers and the Steelers. That's when CJ Stroud was hanging out watching the iPad, watching himself get sacked. That's really all that's been happening to him this entire postseason. It's been rough.
I think if you do want to be successful with him as your quarterback, you're going to have to invest heavily in the offensive line because he does seem like he gets a little rattled under pressure and loses confidence in himself. So I think keeping him better protected will help him be more confident as a player. Definitely. But I mean, you spent the second overall pick on them. It's year 3. You certainly, and like he gets you to this point, so you just got to figure out how to get over that hump.
Yep.
Get to that next step.
I think it's the same thing as kind of, like Josh Allen or Trevor Lawrence over there, Jacksonville. He's been able to get some really good big wins in the playoffs, but still 8-8 record for Josh Allen in the playoffs, which is kind of a perfect segue into this next game because what a game.
This
should have been the prime time on freaking Saturday, man. What the heck?
I guess just because we're Mountain and Seattle specific, because I think that's the only reason that it didn't.
It would have been on super late in the West Coast or the East Coast if it was on. If we got the prime time window.
Yeah.
It would have been on till like 11:30 at night because it went to overtime, so maybe even close to midnight ending on the East Coast.
So I think this was probably the best game of the weekend. It was a really great duel. I think you can say that this is, of all of Josh Allen's postseason losses, this one's the most his fault, man. Like, I mean, his team didn't punt. They had like 450 yards of total offense, but he gave the ball away 4 times. And then James Cook also contributing with a fumble of his own. And Allen, he did fumble it 3 times. He was just able to recover one of them. Also, Alec Anderson apparently had a fumble. Offensive lineman.
It's the one that they did unfortunately lose going into halftime.
That was
he was rushing up the middle of the field into field goal range and carrying the ball down low like that. And I mean, he was getting ready to go down and slide, but should have been protecting the football. I mean, that was a moment that they could have kicked a field goal going into halftime. And I mean, you feel pretty good. They got the ball.
Yeah.
They would have been in a much better scenario.
I mean, the Broncos score the touchdown and go up 17-10 as the game's tied. So like, all right, you're getting the ball back. You're only down 7, and then you fumble, and that's 3 points. And then you fumbled again on the ensuing possession after that, and that's another 3 points. And so, I mean, it was like the defense stepping it up in the second half. The Broncos, I feel like the play calling got a little predictable. They got kind of stagnant on offense, and they did a pretty bad job of staying ahead of the sticks. I mean, it was like the defense gave you opportunities to get back into that jumping interception that the one guy had, that defensive lineman. What was his name? Deion Walker. Was that the guy with like the giant belly that they saw in the replay of that one Bo Nix incompletion that they were reviewing if it was a fumble? You know what I'm talking about?
Oh,
where it was like that was just a unit of a man.
I think I know.
Sure. I think it was either Daquan Jones or Deion Walker. It was one of those two. It was one of the nose tackles. But yeah, I mean, like your defense forced a turnover and then you threw a pick and gave it right back. So like that was a wash out to get some points. Like the Bills had a lot of opportunities to take this game from us. We squandered some opportunities to put them away. They missed opportunities to go ahead and take this one back. Ends up going into overtime, and the Broncos come out on top. There's still people trying to say that the Bills got robbed or that Josh Allen, got let down again. And it's like this. We could go back through every Josh Allen postseason game. I wouldn't put any of those losses on him. I think he played really well in all of those. It was like a player or two away from really going their way. But this one was like, he could have, like, he just choked it. I mean, like there were plenty of chances for him to jump out and put this one away, but the Broncos defense caused them a lot of problems. This was their best game all season in terms of force and takeaways. And then, I mean, like when they needed it, Bo Nix, he led that despite his second half struggles. He led that drive that got that Marvin Mims touchdown. And then the defense let the Bills get in the field goal range, but they came up clutch in overtime and got that takeaway. So let's talk about the calls that people weren't happy about, apparently. Starting with the McMillan interception.
Okay. Yeah, literally tell me how Brandon Cooks survived the contact with the ground. Because the only reason that I'm agreeing with the call as an interception because of the NFL rulebook.
Right.
You got to survive the ground. You got to win that. If they have simultaneous possession, you got to win that fight. You got to survive the contact throughout and maintain possession all the way until it's blown dead.
Like, okay, you caught it. Your feet are in bounds. Now you need to either make a football move, which you couldn't do. You were falling down. So if you're going to fall down, survive contact with the ground. He doesn't do that. Like both guys have the ball going to the ground. If Cooks held on to it when he hit the ground, then yeah, the ball should have been his. But he hits the ground, loses it, and McMillan rips it away. Like that's just like, and in real speed, that's just what happens. Like, yeah, we can go frame by frame of every second that happened.
There's like a million angles of this too,
right?
Where like it is like storybook moment, because you can break it down from any angle. It's
the game is, it's not it's not played frame by frame, screenshot by screenshot. It's played in real speed. And in real speed, that's just what happened is two guys go up and get the ball. They both go to the ground, and one of them comes away with it off of the ground.
If anything, it was
that's an interception.
If anything, it was just a remarkable play from McMillan because
he got
Cooks caught it first, was coming down with it originally until his hands broke up that protection of the ball, and that's what started the fight in midair. They were both maintaining possession of the ball. It wasn't until Brandon Cooks landed where it was finally jogged loose. He was on his back, and from looking at most of the angles, their bodies are kind of blocking it, but the ball is pretty much on Brandon Cooks' chest, and he doesn't make it. He just has like a loose and soft grip on it. So McMillan never gave up on the play, didn't quit on the play, like we've seen a few times in this playoffs, and he ends up with the pick. It was the right call.
And I know other Bills fans were losing their minds over that Devontae Adams one. But, I mean, if you watch it, those are completely different plays because, first of all, Adams catches that without any defenders with their hands in between there. So there's no dual possession there. He catches it, and then he gets like a chance to kind of tuck it, and then he takes contact. I think he also got a step in before he takes a step, gets contacted, goes to the ground, knees hit the ground, and then the ball gets ripped out. But he did way more football elements after he secured that catch than Brandon Cooks had the chance to do. And there was nobody else with dual possession of that.
Yeah, it wasn't a simultaneous possession of the ball for there to even be a review of that.
Those are people trying to compare that. Like, those are just two entirely different plays that occurred. One's a near strip, but his knees got down first, and
that one was really close to being stripped.
It is, yeah, like
it was real close.
But again, that would have been a catch.
Fumble, yeah.
Catch, fumble. This wasn't two guys get simultaneous possession in the air, and then one of them comes down with it after they hit the ground. That's a entirely different thing. And we hear it all the time when we're like, they review those toe taps where the guy falls down out of bounds, where it's like, okay, he caught it, got the feet in, but then he hits the ground, loses the ball on the ground. Like, those are ruled incomplete all the time. Like, are we going to say that play where Xavier Hutchinson on that fourth down, he goes up, he catches the ball, and he lands on his backside with the ball, but as he hits the ground, the ball bounces out. So are we saying that was a catch and then a fumble by Xavier Hutchinson? Like, no, that was ruled an incomplete pass.
Yeah.
And the game was over. It goes to the Texans because, yeah, he had it and his ass hit the ground. So that's the criteria for being down and bounce. But he lost.
How is it a catch
out of his hands?
How is it a catch if you don't come away with the ball? How's it a catch if it's either on the ground or in somebody else's hands?
I don't know. It's like, man, like, you just want to, people want to or want to give Josh Allen this excuse, like, oh, like they robbed him of this one, And it's like, James Cook fumbles on a drive that could have resulted in 6. You're holding the football carelessly right before halftime when you know you get the ball back and you fumble it, give up 3, and then you immediately fumble it again on the opening drive after that. And like, that's a 6-point swing right there. So, and then after your defense gets an interception, you throw an interception like that. Like, it's just a miracle you read in that spot to begin with. And that was, that was a testament to the rest of your defense more than you. And then there are the 2 pass interference calls that we had. Which before we get to those, I do want to say with this whole interception controversy, there was maybe the most obvious holding I've ever seen missed in the end zone with DJ Jones coming after Josh Allen. That would have resulted in a game-ending safety if they had called it. I mean, like the offensive lineman is behind them, and you can see clear as day his white glove and arm sleeve wrapped around his neck. So, I mean, that didn't get called. And so that interception might have just been a ball don't lie moment later in the game anyways. And then there's the Cortland Sutton and Taron Johnson pass interference, which was the first one they got, but there were multiple flags on that play. I'm not going to lie. I didn't really see too much PI on that Taron Johnson one. I felt like that one could have been ticky-tacky. But then again, like the Joey Bosa roughing the passer was clear as day. Like he got there.
That probably would have been called either way.
Yeah, like
if it wasn't a pass interference.
Broncos are getting 15 yards in an automatic first down regardless. They just took the PI because it was a little more yardage for them. And then, I mean, the Marvin Mims PI that Trey White got.
Trey White got burned and just tried to dive and tackle Mims before he even got the ball there. Like
you can see in real time, White hit him before the ball gets there. You can see in the slow-mo that Bills and frame by frames that Bills fans love so much, that as you go frame by frame, the ball's not in frame, ball's not in frame, ball's not in frame. Trey White's hitting Marvin Mims. Trey White's hitting Marvin Mims. He's hitting Marvin Mims. Oh, here comes the ball. There's a very clear screenshot.
The main issue on the play as well is that the defensive backs' eyes weren't to the ball.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead and bump into him and jump with him and try to fight for the ball if you're both actually looking back towards the pass.
Right.
But instead, Trey White made a play on when Marvin Mims' arms moved to try and catch the pass.
Like
instead of actually making a play on the football, he's like, oh, here it comes. I'm going to hit him now because I'm a step behind.
He just missed. He didn't know where the ball was, and he mistimed trying to disrupt the catch, and he hit him early. Like, but your head's not turned around. You're clearly contacting the receiver before the ball's there. It's a pass interference. That's probably a walk-in touchdown for Mims if he doesn't get hit like that. Like, when the ball does get there, he's only got one arm available to catch it because the other one's pinned against his body by the DB.
Like, it was good officiating this weekend. Like, I guess it kind of feels like bull crap. And it kind of feels like a harsh ending when it comes that late in the game. But in the end of the day, like, it's not luck that caused a pass interference right there. Like, it would have been luck if there wasn't a flag thrown on that Trey White pass. It would have been a freaking blusterous snow call that would have gone down in NFL history.
And look,
if that didn't get called.
If the rules were reversed, would I be upset? Yeah, I would initially. But coming here on Tuesday after I'd have a few days of retrospect, I think what I'd want to be talking about is why my team turned the ball over 5 times. Where when we don't punt, like how we don't have any punts. Like, I think, refs can be bad. They really can, and it's unfortunate. But you can't just solely pin why you lost on the referee when you blew so many opportunities in this game. So let's say the Cooks catch goes the Bills' way instead, and I would be like, sure, I'd be like, I don't understand how that's an interception. I'm really upset that didn't go our way. But then I'd be like, why didn't we create points off of a Josh Allen interception? How come, we got two fumbles and only managed to come away with 6 points? We kind of squandered that there, when you have a great quarterback like this. I'd be looking at how we only ran the ball for 70 yards out. Bo Nix was our leading rusher. Like those, I'd be looking at, there are plenty of things that like my team could have done if we had lost this game that I could be pointing to besides a call with the refs. Like I want officials to be better as much as the next guy.
Yeah, I think
But
this is a good example of them being better, honestly.
right, I honestly I think there were calls that they might have missed earlier in the game, but I think at this point, those were genuinely the right calls. Again, I don't see the Taron Johnson one. I've watched it back, and that does seem ticky tacky to me. But it was going to be a minimum of 15 yards, regardless, because the Joey Bosa one was about as clear as day of getting to the quarterback late as you could have. So
another example of a good call that I did see that really could have been kind of ticky tacky was in the Texans game. Derek Stingley had a pretty decent play on the ball on the sideline, but made contact and grabbed the receiver around the arms and got on the shoulder pads before turning his head around. And that line judge saw that literally right by where the sticks were and threw the flag. I mean, that's one that could be ticky-tacky play call, but he makes contact and does hold the receiver before turning around to look back at the ball. So I guess according to the rule book, if we want to have better officiating that's based off of just making the right calls, then that's the right flag. That should definitely be thrown.
I think of the bare minimum too, like what we should have just to have a little more accountability from referees. Make them have to go. You got to do a press conference to end the game.
Yes,
you got to talk to the media about why some of these calls are made, because people got questions on all of these calls. Then you can at least explain what the thought process is there, and then I think at least we can start to build maybe some consistent standards. Okay, well, we're seeing this officiating crew is seeing this, while this officiating crew is seeing this, and it's going to provide more clarity for fans, teams, everyone. And I think maybe we'll see more. You could maybe see some more consistency across officiating calls and everything, and it'll stop these power tripping refs that will throw these soft ass calls because they get their feelings hurt. I don't think we had any of that this weekend. I think overall the games were fairly officiated. I don't think there were any egregious missed calls or anything that really determined the outcome of a game, but beyond a team's control, because every team had their own opportunities and mistakes that also could have determined the outcome of the game. That it's one thing when you see a team play almost a perfect game and then they get a bad call that goes their way. That's totally different. But when both there's some sloppy play on both sides and plenty of mistakes by both teams, one team overcame those mistakes when it mattered, one team didn't. That's the bottom line here. But I do think
maybe pass interference instead of being spot of the foul
should just be 15
yards.
I think spot of the foul is ridiculous.
Because there's some teams that is their passing offense. It's just praying that you get a pass interference on a deep shot.
And there's no defensive penalty, offensive penalty that can hinder, that can give up so much yardage or take so much yardage away from the offense.
Yeah, that's true. There's no offensive penalty
unless they rip off
a 50 yards.
Right. Unless you have a huge touchdown get called back by a holding, but then at that point it's would it have happened without the holding? But you get to still continue that drive and earn that yardage back, where it's the defense, it's one PI and all of a
set of downs could be goal to go.
It's you could have had a team at their own 20-yard line, and now all of a sudden they're operating at your 35. It's it just, there's no defense or offensive penalty that just swings the field position so drastically like that.
That could really be a 50-yard plus penalty on your defense.
Yeah.
I think college does it right with with the 15 yards because you honestly see a lot less pass interference calls in college.
Yeah. Honestly, I also just think like with how sometimes these penalties can be so it can be very judgment based or tough to see it in real time, like or just so circumstantial that like it's not such a like yeah, 15 yards and automatic first sucks, but it's not like such a huge momentum flipper on a drive, you know. And also, again, we got to just have those refs answer some questions with the media. I think that's the biggest step. There's just no accountability for officiating, really. I think that would be helpful.
It'll come out after the game, and then it's like, who really talked to those refs about the game? Like, what meeting took place after the game or the next day where they really looked over that game? They're like, okay, here's the missed calls, and they're even if it's the NFL, a different group in the NFL that looks over the games, then there's still no accountability with that officiating crew. Like at that point, it becomes like a film watch. Like, hey guys, we're going to show you guys what different kind of penalties look like this weekend.
But then even then, it's like if they go, oh, okay, yeah, this call was wrong or they were missed, like nothing happens to the rest. There's no suspension. They're not fined. Like,
yeah, they just like move on to the next week.
They're not placed on leave. And it's like, I mean, I get that they're not making the same money as the players, but they still have like a pretty big impact on the game.
They'll mess around and give that crew a primetime slot the weekend after they just
right,
make some egregious calls.
Like
it's a big game.
Like I get, like I don't like, and like I don't want to say like fine them because they're not making the same amount of money. So like and like, or suspend them without pay because like they probably genuinely need this money for like
they do probably work another job,
right? Like they need to pay their rent, they have bills and shit. But so you can't fine them or suspend them because like I mean that would be putting them in a bad spot. But like demote them, you know, like take them off of a prime time slot, maybe move them into less important games. You know, like take them out of a good. Get them off of the good games, you know, make them have to kind of earn their way back up. And then if another crew's and like it doesn't have to be like after one bad call, but if it's starting to become a consistent problem, demote them, relegate them back a little bit. And then when like if another crew starts to have some issues, they get a chance to come back up and maybe the new, you know, the new officials. So it just a little more accountability would just help the sport. But again, I got to go, this weekend wasn't that bad. It really wasn't. Well, this kind of can segue us into our next thing. Sean McDermott fired.
Gone.
And so that
8-8 in the playoffs with Josh Allen. I think that
yeah,
it's a genuine option there. Their owner, their GM is like Shane Beamer, right?
Yeah. Brandon Beane, I think.
Oh, yeah, Brandon Beane.
And he's getting an extension, which I really think Sean McDermott wasn't the problem. I think the GM is building crappy teams, dude. Like,
he can't get a weapon other than James Cook and freaking old man Brandon Cooks.
Right after Diggs walked, like, the Bills haven't had a number one wide receiver.
I don't think Amari Cooper for a week last year.
Right. Defensively, he hasn't really brought in anybody that's like their defensive line has always been solid, but they don't have like a true game wrecker or somebody that's incredibly disruptive on the D line. Like, I mean, like the Chiefs had Chris Jones in his prime for all those years, was super disruptive. I mean, the Patriots like had like either James Harrison or Rob Ninkovich, like somebody that just could be Vince Wilfork, like just some guys that could be very disruptive on the line of scrimmage. And so like Josh Allen's just never really gotten like a guy like that. Like, I mean, like the Von Miller experiment didn't really work. He was kind of clearly past his prime. Russo and Oliver have both been really solid. I mean, they're good players. But I don't think they're like, they don't have any game wrecker potential. And yeah, so I just think he should be gone. I don't think McDermott's, despite some limitations on his staff, has still always put together a really good team. I don't think he was.
If they're gonna fire McDermott, blow up that whole.
Yeah, I would like
front
Bean would
office.
have to be gone too. But are you you're keeping him? But
And they actually they extended him and appointed him to the president of football. So I don't think that the Bills are going to be getting any better anytime
probably going to
soon.
be more of the same heartbreak.
Yeah.
So just to give everybody a recap on all the vacancies and everything. So we're going to start with mutually parting ways, which is just a nice way of saying I'm going to quit before you can fire me. Chris Greer, the general manager of the Miami Dolphins, he's out. Cliff Kingsbury stepping down for the Commanders. Mike Tomlin.
That's interesting. I didn't really expect that.
Mike Tomlin stepping down as the head coach of the Steelers, and Kevin Palto apparently didn't get fired. He is just no longer going to be the team's offensive coordinator. So he's getting demoted, but maybe not necessarily being fired.
Yeah.
So some firings. These are some
Tulo out of there.
These are some from earlier in the year, but you have Brian Callahan. Was out at Tennessee. Dayball and Shane Bowen, head coach in DC for the New York Giants. Jets defensive coordinator Steve Wilkes was fired in December. The Rams fired their special teams coordinator back on December 20th. At the end of the season, Raheem Morris and Terry Fontenot, the general manager of the Atlanta Falcons, were both fired. Kevin Stefanski was fired from the Cleveland Browns. The Raiders cleaned house, firing Pete Carroll, Chip Kelly, and special teams coordinator Tom McMahon. Jonathan Gannon is out as head coach of the Arizona Cardinals. Matt Eberflus, no longer the defensive coordinator for Dallas. Joe Witt Jr. was fired by the Commanders. He was their DC. Lions fired their offensive coordinator, John Morton. The Ravens fired John Harbaugh. Dolphins fired Mike McDaniel. Buccaneers fired their OC and their special teams coordinator, Josh Gizzard and Thomas McGahee. Greg Roman, the OC for the Chargers, has been fired. And finally, we come to Sean McDermott, the most recent head coaching or general manager vacancy that's just become available. Now,
most recent hiring, though.
We got some hirings, yeah.
I know to the Titans.
That happened this morning, I believe.
It was super late last night when the Shefty bomb dropped for the finalization of the deal, and then I was seeing some lives this morning about 6 a.m. talking about it. Well, that's our most recent one.
I mean, I think Saleh was a solid head coach for the Jets. They could never figure the quarterback situation out, and then Aaron Rodgers kind of forced them out. Plus,
I think they're building that.
I mean, like you've got your quarterback, like Cam Moore, that will be a special player. There's some dudes on the defensive unit that are nice. I mean, the Titans have a lot of building to go still. Like Saleh, it's going to be
nice.
They've got plenty of cap space. They've got some draft capital. So, I mean, like Tennessee's got some things they can work with. But I think there's still a long way to go. But I like Saul. I think Saul's a good head coach. You saw what he did with a banged up Niners defensive unit. They were still pretty good.
I like Will Scott too.
Yeah.
Their offensive coordinator. I don't know if they'll move on from him, but I mean, there's definitely some options for an offensive coordinator out there that you could get with solid to just let him take control of that unit while he worries about the defense, and just get a guy that you can really trust to progress Cam Ward. They just got to keep on building. I think they're making some good moves though.
More news that broke yesterday. So earlier in the month, the Dolphins announced that they were going to be hiring general manager John Eric Sullivan. And then last night they announced that their new head coach is going to be former Packers defensive coordinator Jeff Hafley. This is an interesting one to me. I'll say I think Jeff Hafley, when he had Micah Parsons, had that defense as a top 5 unit. That was despite some limitations on the back end in their secondary. But he had Micah and he could rush 4 and be disruptive that way and drop more into coverage. It'll be interesting. I mean, there's no Jalen Phillips there anymore. You still got Bradley Chubb. Jonathan Brooks, their middle linebacker. I like him. He's really solid. You've got me because so there's
awesome year.
Not a terrible defensive unit there for him for a defensive minded coach. He's got some questions on what they're going to do with Tua. I mean, it's a new head coach, new GM. The Tua experiment might be over. They don't really seem like they weren't really.
The Quinn show. He didn't look too bad those last 2 games.
Right.
He was all right. Definitely showed like he might have less ball security issues.
True.
Than Tua, which is what was the real main issue. He was pretty sure he was top 3 in the interceptions thrown. This year was like him and Geno had like 15 and Geno had like 17 or 19. Led the league.
Yeah. So, but it'll be interesting there. I don't know how I feel about this Jeff Hafley one. This was kind of like an out of left field. I was just like,
I don't really get it either.
I was surprised. I don't know. I think he was a bit of a Micah Parsons merchant. We definitely saw that defense become a whole lot less productive and impactful when he was gone.
Kind of been the story, at least like Packers defense kind of got a little deflated come around playoff time.
Yeah.
Even last season. I mean, I think it's a better move for the Packers than it is the Dolphins. They're really taking a chance here. We'll see what happens.
Right. And sorry, Packers fans, but Matt LaFleur is going to be extended. He's coming back. Now, this is a kind of a nothing burger hire, but it's like the Lions are getting the offensive coordinator Drew Petzing, who was the Cardinals OC for the past 3 seasons.
At least he likes to run the ball a lot, right?
Yeah,
he just never really had like a running game to showcase that he was, could build a solid running game. But like Jahmyr Gibbs and Monty now,
I think James Conner, when he was healthy there, him and Trey Benson, that combo was actually solid for the Cardinals. So I mean, now I think he's getting a better offensive line and running back tandem. So plus some better weapons and just a better quarterback in terms of processing and running in offense. So
it is kind of the nothing burger. They went with the safe route on that hire.
Right.
They went the safe route.
Like tried and true. I don't know. This isn't anything revolutionary. They got a lot of talent. Petzing isn't a horrible. I mean, he's a pretty good coordinator. So I mean, it should be all right. Here we got some big news. The Atlanta Falcons, this was a couple days ago, are hiring Kevin Stefanski as their head coach and Matt Ryan, former quarterback. He's going to be the president of football operations. Stefanski to Atlanta. How do you feel about this as a Saints fan, Caveman? I think this is
interesting.
I think it's a good hire for the Falcons.
I'm actually really excited for the next season for the Saints because out of the 9 teams that have coaching vacancies, we play 7 of them. So we're going to be in some really fun matchups with these teams. I'm excited to see what happens. They're bringing back somebody that actually has a genuine care for the team as well. I think they got a vet with Matt Ryan that's actually going to try and build something. It's not like he wants to be on the field making any decisions. He's definitely said that, but he'll definitely be around to help them build a nice team that can get it done on the field. Yeah. And it'll fit those coaches' schemes.
I don't know exactly what their cap situation is or who they might be losing in free agency, but I think this is if they keep Jeff Ulbrich there, he was really good as a defensive coordinator. I mean,
they got a good defensive unit.
Stefanski won 2 Coaches of the Year awards, and I think he really got some. I think he coached up some pretty subpar Cleveland Brown teams into, playoff contenders. So, or like playoff teams, not really contenders, but he got them there. I think it's just him and Andrew Berry ended up kind of being at odds over Shedeur Sanders, and that was, I think, what kind of ended up doing them in. It's hilarious that Andrew Berry is still the general manager in Cleveland, even though he's the reason that they're in that horrible cap situation with Deshaun Watson. But he's still there. But they fired Stefanski, who I think is a really good offensive, still a really good coach. So there's a ton of talent there on Atlanta. I mean, you don't just win 2 coaches of the year for no reason. So I think Stefanski could potentially get the best out of this defensive unit, or out of this just Falcons unit in general.
It's definitely a team that I'm definitely going to be taking a lot more seriously now. I think that the inconsistency that we've seen might be out of the picture, honestly, because they're getting a really good head coach that was able to. Their kind of only worry is if Michael Penix Jr. is going to be their franchise quarterback moving on,
right?
Or did they go ahead and draft the guy, dude from SpongeBob with the eye patch that's covered in bandages? Is that who they drafted, or did they get a franchise guy in Penix?
I mean, I gotta say, you're in a interesting decision with Kirk Cousins, because I mean he was balling at the end of the season, and so it's like, I mean, does Unk still got it? Is there trade value there? Do you have a really expensive backup quarterback? Like, what's the deal? Like, maybe it's some quarterback competition, and like, all right, Penix, maybe you're not ready yet. It was kind of rough to start this season. And then you got banged up. Maybe we got some things to work on.
Like, through the games, the total amount of games that he's played now, Penix has a full season on his belt, so he might be named the starter going into next year. But I think with Matt Ryan there, you got a new head coach who's going to be a little bit more of an offensive mind. Get a QB battle going for this young guy and get his competitive spirit going and really see where he's at after a full season of play. Got an injury, so let's see if he bounces back from that and adversity and comes back even better. Then you have a chance at a franchise guy.
Flashing back to the glory days of the 2010s, where it's the Falcons and the Saints constantly competing for the NFC South title, and then like the Panthers randomly being good one year and then terrible the next, being in the mix. So
that's another team I really kind of interested to see what they do in this offseason. Is Carolina.
I'm going to be watching them closely for sure. All right, we got another big hiring. Actually, first of all, Petzing wasn't a nothing burger. It's just not very exciting. This is a real nothing burger hire. The Commanders hiring David Blau as their offensive coordinator. Dude, whatever. I don't.
Yeah,
I can give you
Cliff
exactly.
Kingsbury walk for that.
I'd take care of Cliff Kingsbury. I mean, Blau, that guy. I mean, we've seen plenty of players that like have sucked as a player be good coordinators, so maybe he's a really good coordinator. Is it him, or who's like the guy that just does not make sense how he has a career? Is it David Blau that I'm thinking of, or is that somebody else? That's just like, he was awful in college, in high school. He's been awful in the NFL. He's just like buddies with like somebody, and that's why he keeps getting jobs.
He's the guy with the connections, man. The guy with the connections. I think it is. I think it is Blotto, though.
Yeah. So, yeah, he's just been whatever. Such a nothing burger. The Giants, though, hiring John Harbaugh.
That one.
Right. What are we thinking here, man?
That one is fun. I think a veteran coach, been around for a long, long time, and you got neighbors, Jackson Dart, Cam Scattaboo, a pretty solid defensive unit, nice pass rush, man. Freaking Brian Burns looking like an unaged wonder right now. I mean, he's well past his days in Carolina, and he's looking like a top guy now. I mean, he had a heck of a season this year. I mean, this is going to be interesting to see.
Yeah.
I think this could be a turning point potentially for the Giants, man. They're back into their days where they might be making some NFC East championships.
Right. I mean, they'll be in a spot where they could be a winning team and then, choking away big leads and at random points because their coach keeps screwing up. No, I mean, I think with all the talent here, like Harbaugh does at least do a good job of he's put guys in positions to succeed. Super Bowl winning coach. He's got a lot of experience. I think you just need to make sure you get the right offensive and defensive coordinators in the building there with them. There's plenty of talent on this Giants team. You just need somebody to optimize it and get the best out of it. And I think Harbaugh could be the guy to do that.
There's so much young talent on this team, and there's possibility for a really bright future here for them, and a possibility for it to be another big L in Giants history. And just so soon after losing Saquon Barkley, it's like they're gonna go have something else crash and burn. So I'm kind of hoping for like something good, just because Saints Giants rematch, baby. They're one of our squads. I want to see this game now. I want to see our series against the Falcons now. And this is going to be hype. We got the AFC North. Going to be playing Steelers. Be playing the Browns. Got the Ravens. Another few teams are going to be needing a coach. And it's going to be exciting to see.
I believe we got the AFC East next year. Yeah, we got the AFC East. That'll be exciting. Hopefully somebody can get something going in New York for football, because it's been, I mean, the Bills are still the best team in the state of New York, but for the city, which doesn't even, the teams aren't even in the city, they're in New Jersey, but like there's a lot of pain and suffering.
Oh yeah, there is.
So I gotta say that I bet Stefanski and Harbaugh both punch in the air, like get signing on the new jobs and then seeing the Bills head coach opening.
I know.
Right as
you sign the contract. It's like, and even Robert Saleh, like that would have been a good spot for Brandon Beane to maybe, build up the defense a little bit. Then maybe the other team won't need 13 seconds to get down the field on you.
Yeah. So some head coaching vacancies that we still got. Browns and Raiders are both looking for head coaches. Same with the Cardinals. Vegas is an attractive spot for some people, though. I mean, like, you got the number one pick, so you're going to have Mendoza. You got Genti and Bowers. You've got Max Crosby potentially. We'll see what hit. I don't know. They might have burned the bridges with him, but who might take that over?
The world's biggest Raider fan, though, is Derek Carr, and he actually thinks the Raiders should stay away from drafting Mendoza.
Oh, really?
He thinks they should continue building and use this draft to get the pieces that they need for the real quarterback of the future. But if you're a Raiders fan, do you want to watch another year of Geno Smith? I would not.
I mean, if your offensive line stays the same, whether it's Geno Smith or Fernando Mendoza behind that, I think the result will be relatively the same. I'm just going to be honest.
Maybe a little bit more ball security, more sacks. I don't know. Like it's
going to be Ashton Genti averaging 1.7 yards a carry, and your quarterback getting sacked 6 times and having 2 interceptions every game. It's going to be the issues you're going to run into if that offensive line doesn't get fixed.
Like, do the Raiders skip out on that QB with their first round pick, maybe get one later on, but oh no, we suck again. Get Archie Manning if he has a crazy season next year.
Like, I like Mendoza as a competitor. I think he throws the ball really well. Obviously, he seems clutch. The moments don't seem too big for him. But if he's going to be the number 1 overall pick, I don't know like how ready as a prospect he is to just be, how he'll translate to the pros. Like, I think he could still be good. I just don't know. I'm still just not sure what his ceiling could be as a pro.
Because he has been behind a really solid, like a two-headed monster in the backfield, 2 really experienced backs with Hemby and Black back there. I mean,
don't get me wrong. He was such a deserving Heisman. He was the perfect quarterback to lead that Indiana team. But that was a super powered, a juggernaut team built there. Like I said, you put him behind
at Indiana,
Las Vegas's pass rush, and then you're going to be at a minimum facing the Broncos, Chargers, and Chiefs pass rush twice a year. All pretty good units that all have really high level defensive coordinators
that are just going to get after you, and
right,
they're going to confuse you all day long. It's going to be a lot of different looks. I mean, he was really good at Indiana at getting his job done. He obviously did more than that, which got him the Heisman and got Indiana the national championship by amazing plays that he did make. But he also was just very good at getting his job done. And everybody else did that simultaneously that was just the best team.
So it'll just be like, do I believe he can do his job in the NFL? Yes, but like,
not with the garbage team like that, man.
Right.
And that's just.
I mean, I think.
Still probably pick him, but like.
I would say he's still got like a chance to have a pretty high ceiling. Like Kirk Cousins with more athleticism. That's not like a dig at anything. Like Kirk Cousins is a really good quarterback, Like he could be like a Matt Ryan level. Like he could be a guy that could definitely, you put a good enough team around them, he can definitely get them.
Yeah,
get them
Kirk
far.
Cousins, man, he was definitely big on elevating his guys too. I mean, that's what got him jobs on other teams. That's what got him out of Washington, and got him into Minnesota with Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison, T.J. Hawkinson.
Right.
He got in some nasty weapons with him over there. And I mean, even when that ended, he's over now. Kyle Pitts, Bijan Robinson, Drake London, still pretty solid weapons in the league when they're going. I mean, we just don't know where his ceiling is going to be yet for Mendoza.
I'm gonna be really interested to see how he does in the combine and like how when he like sits down with some pro quarterbacks and coaches and just like how those interviews go and things like that. I'm really interested to see. It's a guy I want to root for too, because I mean it's just like he's got a great story and he's just
unintentionally hilarious.
Right. And just like seems like just like the nicest, most genuine guy you'll meet. So it's like it's hard to have ill will towards him. Nice, I wonder if like a
PR
team like
trained.
Yeah, I wonder if like a team like the Raiders and just like the hole that they're in and like all the problems they have, if they're going to be able to fully realize his potential. It's like the same thing with like the Jets, where it's like I feel like like you need a quarterback, but there's just so many other glaring issues too that are going to need to be taken care of. Where it's like you can add the quarterback, but you're going to have to probably be patient, and then do something you haven't done, which is consistently build positively towards the next step. Like you keep going. It's like the Jets aren't afraid, they're not afraid to spend money or make some big moves, but it's just like these are teams that just consistently make the wrong move. And sometimes as a player or as a quarterback, there's not much you can do about that.
Best position on a lot of teams is the front office.
It is.
And those GMs,
And
the people who are signing players.
and the owner,
Is,
low
yep.
key.
Most important position in any team is the front office.
Those,
Is there anything else on there on our news for the coaching carousel before we sign out?
no, I mean, we got to everything, all the big ones. We'll keep you guys updated as those get filled in, and we'll be back next week for another edition of Football Frenzy. We also got a show tomorrow, some college hoops news to recap, and Jimmy Butler torn ACL, what that means for the Warriors. Find out tomorrow until the final whistle. We'll see you guys then.
Life is like a duck. Tough times don't last, but tough people do. Here at Military Broadcast Radio, we're teaming up with our friends at Die Tired, the veteran-friendly music band spreading strength, resilience, and mental health awareness, one shirt at a time.
And check this out. Their brand new shirts feature broadcast beaker right on the breast pocket. A reminder that you can weather the storm, and you're never alone.
Shirts are only $25, and proceeds support giving veterans a voice. MBR's mission to teach veterans how to podcast and videocast. Because when our vets are talking, they're not overthinking. They're not second-guessing. Together, we stop the 22 stigma. Grab your shirt today at mbradio.us and hit the shop. Or go directly to toramerch.printavo.com/merch/dietiredband. That's toramerch.printavo.com/merch/dietiredband.
Suit up, stand strong.
Remember, we're unduckable together.
You're built tougher than the storm.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to Military Broadcast Radio. As we wrap up today's show, we want to remind you that the podcast of today's episode will be available right after we go off the air. So if you missed any part of the show or want to listen again, be sure to check it out. And remember, we're here to support and honor our veterans. Your stories and experiences matter, and we are committed to giving you a platform to share them. That's right. We're here to give our veterans a voice. So don't forget to catch the podcast and stay connected with us. Giving our veterans a voice.